What is going on, guys? It is Chaos here, and I am currently sitting here with Tiny Ozzie in the second episode of SSHTC, and he is our very first guest on the podcast. So, hi, how are you doing?
Let's go! I am doing great, Kale. Thank you for inviting me on the podcast. And I think podcasts for me are really fun. I think they're really cool. And not only that, but it's like you get to know each other more. And I would say I'm more of like a small group kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we hang out in small groups, I'm more like I like chilling with a lot less people because I like to be more intimate. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think it's cool. I think podcasts are like that door to building a good friendship.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it. I like that. All right. So, like we said, we're gonna start off with the very first segment that is our your game timeline. So,
Yeah.
whenever you're ready, hit me with it. I'm ready. I'm ready to be dazzled.
Boom. When I was 2, my dad had me on his lap, and there's a picture that my mom has. I think I have it on my phone, and it's literally just me holding a PS2 controller, little Gerber baby hand. And you could tell the baby doesn't really know what he's doing, but I was holding that controller, and my dad was like, "Yeah, you're playing Ratchet and Clank," and I was like, "Dude, this is epic." And all I remember is from there. That's kind of I started off with the PS2.
Okay.
Honestly, the best console to this day. Maybe side by side with GameCube. um,
No, yeah.
but it's for real. It started off with PS2, and then from there it went from like to Nintendo games. Mario Odyssey. I mean, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, you
What
had
else
the
is there?
you had the classics.
I had that's actually that's actually perfect how you were. I would say that's what mainly my childhood and my timeline with games were the classics.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like no crazy side games or like those games that like people know that are out there, but it's not like oh my gosh it's big. Like
Like it's
I like
massive. I want to play it right now. Like kind of how it is right
yes
now.
exactly like it's like almost like Super Mario 64. There's people to this day that still play that game. That game's like what 20 something years old,
Oh
almost
god, yes.
even older. So it's like I was that guy that would play mainly the classics, but even then, like, dude, like my time with those games were great, and not only that, but I would say, um, I would definitely say that like I was the gamer guy of the group of like out of all my friends. I studied games. I was totally into games. My escape was video games. I'm like, all I know is video games. Give me an A+ in video games.
So if they came out
um,
with the class, like you would A+, 100% extra credit, just straight up pass it.
bro, I think they would definitely put me in a university or ask me to start working on the game. Be like, hey, can you beta test? I'll be like, oh yeah, say less, dude. I'm down.
I
I'm
just think
down.
it's because I was what was referred to in my group as the dumb one of the group, surprisingly, because of all. Yeah, I was the dumb one of the group for my freshman year of high school, and then I got into gaming, and then after that, I started doing more stupid stuff. Like I will talk about when we get to funny high school stories. I'll get to that because I got a
All
good
right, I'm
one.
excited. Okay,
But yeah,
dude, that's crazy though.
yeah, it was rough being the person that everybody picked on, but it was whatever. We grew as friends when that happened. So,
Made you tougher. That's what it definitely did, bro.
oh god,
It
yes.
sucks because like now you talk about video games, everyone's like, oh, dude, heck yeah, everyone's like super cool. At least from my experience, and now seeing other kids in school now, like video games is now like our culture, which is
Mhm.
awesome. Obviously, it sucks back then for the people who did go through it, but like it's
Mhm.
cool to see that now we're at that point where like, no, that's a normal culture thing. Anime slowly won its way into
Oh
it.
god,
Still kind
yes.
of working there, but it's there now too.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Me and the girlfriend were actually talking about that Because if you liked anime when you were in like middle school, high school, you were referred to as the weird kid. The Naruto running kid that would do that during. Yep, you got it. You got it.
I've been practicing.
I've been practicing. They ain't never gonna catch me. I'm gonna get a 50 on that pacer test.
Raid Area 51, guys.
Oh my god.
Dude, can you believe that was a thing?
Oh,
that people were gonna pull Naruto runs up in that mess?
I remember being in high school and seeing memes about that. Me and my friends laughed about it, but watching it now, being like, knowing those kids, they were probably dumb enough to actually do it, okay? They would have came back with some weird type of radiation.
Wait, how old are you, Kay, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 22. I turned 22 last month.
Dude, you're younger than me.
You are lying. You are lying.
No, I'm 23, dude.
You're 23? Jesus Christ.
I'm 20. Did you think I was older?
I did think you were older. I figured maybe like 25, 26. Like maybe 5 years ahead of me.
No, that's honestly valid. I mean, if you met me in real life, I think it'd even be even higher. I'm like, that was me in high school. The students thought, "Are you our sub?" I'm like,
I've been in your class for 2 years, and y'all think I'm the substitute.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it was like I think it was like 2 weeks in barely to school, so I think that's why a lot of people were like shooketh when they saw me, and I'm like, nah, bro. I'm a student, and the reason I say this is because even so for like it's cool because for like a church we have like these youth camps, right? I wasn't a counselor, right? I was like just a camper, and it was funny because this counselor pulls me to the side. I'll make this quick, and basically, long story short, he pulls me right, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We got a meeting to go to right now," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, me thinking like, "Oh, this is like the whole camp meeting." No, this man pulls me, and I see a bunch of grown men and women, and I'm like, excuse me, sir." I'm like, "I don't know if you know, I'm like 14," and he's like, "Oh my god," he's like, "You're 14?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm so." He's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." He's like, I thought genuinely you were like a counselor." I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Bro, get out of here." He's like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, I just walk out the class, and
I'm sorry you were confused. My bad.
Dude, I was like, "What the heck?" And I'm like, "Man," I'm like, I must look that old already. That's freaking insane. And I was 14. Like,
Oh my
I was still
God.
barely in high school, like middle school, you know.
That's so funny.
But bringing it back to the video games.
Yeah.
So basically, I was just a classics guy, and then from the Wii, that's when I went into the PlayStation 3, and I would say, without a doubt, the PlayStation 3 is where Ozzie was born. Like that's where like,
it took
I
off.
think I was like, I got, yeah. I'm like, I think I have a talent for gaming, and I'm like, I need to see where this goes. And like that started off with, you already know, bro, Modern Warfare 2.
Oh god, yes.
Modern Warfare 3. You got Call of Duty Black Ops. You got Metal Gear Solid. You got, oh my god, what other game? Little Big Planet. Like, I can keep going, but the PlayStation 3 was like my era of like, I love video games and I want to compete, or at least like, if there is some
I want to do something with
like,
the video games.
I want to do something with it. Exactly. You know, seeing like White Boy Symmetry. I don't know if you even know that guy. He was a old YouTuber that like, he was just like a pretty beast like content creator for Modern Warfare 2, and he would just drop nukes, and then there was
that meme does sound
who else
familiar
was
though.
there? If you want to look it up while I'm talking, like totally up to you.
I would, but it would mess up my recording.
Oh no, you're good. But then that was like that was like I don't know if scene enters. No, I don't know if it was scene enters, but there was just a lot of, that's how like I remember a lot of I would say that's like I said, I would say that's where it took off, and then eventually like even my dad was like, oh my god, like he's actually really good at video games, and then slowly but surely like I would I would like get videos, but like I had no knowledge, and this is the crazy part is that like my family didn't really know too much about technology besides like one of my uncles. His name's Gio, but even then, it was really just like, well, this is foreign knowledge. We have no clue how to do any of these things. Like even PlayStation didn't have like a. I don't think they had like that stream thing they do now, like on the PS4. You know.
I couldn't. I
And
think
so
they
it was
do. No, I think about it.
right. Yeah, that's what I was
yeah, it was on the
thinking.
PS4 because Xbox One and then PS4 they both had this streaming. That's where I stream. I stream directly off the Xbox, and I
Mm.
still do it even with the next gen. My little tiny toaster oven over here.
Hey, he's hanging in there. Go little toaster.
Go little toaster, go with your amazing graphics.
Dude, at the time, I mean, those, dude, talking about graphics, what do you think about that, bro? Like, it was only literally 10 years. Okay, like, we went from like Minecraft blocks to like, oh my god, like this is like,
So, what really made me realize that our graphics are going up? Have you seen the trailer for the Resident Evil 4 remake?
yes, I think I have seen it.
And it looks so clean. It looks so much better in comparison to no like hate on Resident Evil 4, the old Resident Evil 4, but
Yeah.
this remake looks amazing. It looks fantastic.
Dude, okay, I need to I'm gonna probably rewatch it later because I'm like it must really look really good. I mean, I would say Resident Evil 4 was probably one of the best Resident Evils I played.
Oh,
I think that's actually one of the games to start it with.
when that was the first game that my dad played in front of me, and I was like, this story's awesome. Like, I want to play this. This looks amazing. I went off to the side, I played it on the normal difficulty. I'm like, this seems really easy the way I'm watching my dad play it. And then I found all these mods that you can add to Resident Evil 4 where you can spawn like 30 of the chainsaw guys and just.
Oh my god, dude!
I
Freaking
remember
funny
that
bring those guys.
difficulty.
Dude, that's insane. I'm like that. I'm like all the Resident Evils can't compare to that one.
Oh god.
Just
Yeah.
like respectfully, I mean, yes, the what's it called? The one with Ethan, Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
That one's great, but I feel like that's its own genre. I don't even think that's like I still think that was a really great Resident Evil. It's been so long since like I'm like, wow, this is actually like a good one. I would say Resident Evil 7 and 4 are
They're pretty.
They
A
hit
lot of
perfectly.
people want to hit. They're like, I'm so tired of Ethan's story. We don't want to see Ethan anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean? His story is amazing in comparison to all these. No offense to anybody else, but to all these other. Resident Evil 6, I think it was, where it had the
Yeah.
3 different stories going on. Where, what's the character's name that you got to protect in Resident
Chris,
Evil 4?
I think it was. Oh, to protect? Oh, I don't know. To protect. I know it was Chris. I know it was like. I forgot what the girl's name was. I know it was Chris, and then it was God, there's too many names. In that
It's
game.
Chris, Leon, and Ashley. That's her name. Ashley.
Ashley.
Which everybody hated Ashley at that time because she would always get caught into something.
We're still saving her to this day. I don't even know how she has not learned to be like, hey, let me. Maybe after 10 years of getting caught by zombies, how about I just get something to. How about I learn
Give me
to
a
shoot?
shotgun, man. I'm sick of this.
Exactly. But yeah, so going on then, I would say like after so then like from like all the from then the PlayStation 3, then that's when like PS4 was eventually where I'm like, okay, I'm tired of playing on consoles. Like, I love it, it's awesome. But then I was like, wow, a PC can do a lot,
Yeah, it
and I mean
can.
like almost everything. And I was like, and the only reason I even got into it, and I never saw myself. Yeah, I literally could tell you, I never to this day, I never would have thought I would get into PCs until like 2017, 20 like 18, and that was when I was like literally already 18 by then,
Mm.
19. And so I'm like, you would think that from such a big age, like after all those years of not really learning computers, I wouldn't really like transition into it, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, but then I would go to my uncle's house and he didn't have consoles, he had PCs, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, this sucks. But then I started playing and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I like the mouse. I like that I have to kind of aim. It's not my thumbstick. Again, no disrespect to controller players. I mean,
No, I get it.
talking of I'm I'm coming from a controller player that's played for almost 20 to 18 years on controller, you know? But when I what bugged me so much was aim assist. Aim assist and like it very stale movement
Yeah.
in video games, in any video games. Besides maybe like fighting games. That's fighting or like combat games like Dark Souls or just like the controller's perfect for those games.
Yeah.
But for like shooting games, I did not like it. I felt stale, like very robotic, very like
Oh,
up and down. And it was crazy because I think Fortnite was probably the game where I'm like, I want to learn M and K. I want to get good at like using a mouse and keyboard. And so from there, then that's when like I fell in love with it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get into PCs. And slowly but surely, I started learning to like, okay, build my own PC. I started learning to like, and this was all from my uncle. Honestly, again, his name is Gio, and he helped me like basically just get into it, and like he showed me how to video edit. He showed me how to like do all these other things. So I'm like, dude, I think I really like this, and then from there, eventually, I started learning that like it's it's easier to stream on, you know, to like okay, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. I know consoles have made it easier now too, but at
Yeah.
least like now at the time that it was like no, like okay, even if I'm not playing video games, you can learn how to make money, you can learn how to search stuff, you can learn how to like almost do a lot. Like, I mean, we're kind of in that time now that like PCs are pretty much a part of our lives, you know?
Yeah, I know what you. Because when I got the console, I got the new gen, and I started streaming, and I'm like, man, I want to upgrade my stuff. New Year's came around, I'm like, man, I want to upgrade my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Got myself a laptop, got myself the mic arm. I was like, I could use this for my podcast stuff. I can't wait. I'm excited. And then I was like, wait, I can manage all of my stream stuff from this as well. People would always tell me they would be like, just get a PC at that point. Get a PC at that point. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to stream off of the PC. I want to stream off of my console. And I want to enjoy it from there. I'm enjoying the
Exactly.
simple life.
And dude, and that's what I'm saying. That's literally what I did was I got the Razer game capture card, and then they're like, "Ozzie, you want to stream on your PC?" And I'm like, "Cause I want to play on my console. Why am I going to stream off of the PC? The PC's there to stream." But then I'm starting learning, and I'm like, actually, the PC's not that bad. Let me start doing it. It's funny because there's a friend. I don't know if he'll be here today or not or in chat, but his name was Udifer. I would say he was mainly like my big pusher into like, why do you have all this fancy PC gear and then you don't even play with it or you don't even do nothing with it when you already know it's a lot stronger than the PlayStation. I'm like, he kind of has a point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he has a
understand that.
point. Let me
Let me
let me
figure
do
some
that
stuff out.
transition. Exactly. And so then from there, then and it's funny now, and this is perfect because then okay, now I'm like starting to stream PC games. I'm actually stepping away from the PlayStation. This is I have I think this is like 2019. I'm stepping away from like 2020. 2019 is where like my big transition into like PCs was there, because I remember playing like all the like Gary's mod,
Oh my
um
god. I still want to play that
like all the
stuff.
goofy Steam games, Trouble in Terrorist Town, um just a lot of like mini games,
A
games that are on
lot of
Steam.
the games that you see, like, for a really good example of that is Vanoss, the way he does the
Exactly.
Gmod stuff. And that's kind of
And when
how
I
I wanted to do it as well.
exactly, and when I saw that, I was like, why don't we have that on consoles? Because like consoles can't handle that, or like they don't do all
They
that
can't
stuff.
run
So
it
then
all
I was,
that well.
yeah, exactly. So then I'm like, nah, man, I want to have fun. Forget this.
I want to have
And
fun.
so
Console also is like, no. How about no?
all it was is the mini. All you had was multiplayers, man. Couldn't do all that modded stuff, bro. And, dude, I love
Oh,
modded
you
stuff.
want modded stuff? Here's exclusives. Pa! Like, I don't want
Mm.
exclusives. I want fun.
um, and so then like, and so then eventually from then like recording videos, I actually did not, and I promise you, I did not ever want to become a streamer.
Really?
Never. And I always said, I'm like, I never want to become a streamer. And all my friends were like, why? And I'm like, because it takes way too much time. It's on the spot. It's live. And I'm just like, I don't like it. I hate that.
I
I'm
don't
like,
like people
whereas
watching me. I feel
it was
vulnerable.
it was weird, yeah. And I'm like, I want to like I'm like, I'm just gonna do YouTube, and that's why I like made the YouTube channel, because I actually was wanting to become a YouTuber more than I wanted to become a streamer. And then like I started uploading videos. Obviously, I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah.
But then my friends are like, "Yeah, you should just stream," and I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Well, what's the point of you playing and not recording if you're just gonna play? Like, you might as well just stream it." And I'm like, "But I don't want to do that." And they're like, "Ozzie, what's the worst that happens? They tell you, oh, you suck, oh, you this, oh, that, oh, where did he go?" Like, you're obviously not someone that's big. And they weren't saying that in the rude way. They're just being real. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
not like a big time person, but like, who knows? This might be something you might really like. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just click, hit Twitch, start streaming like Tetris 9 on the Nintendo Switch. I Yeah, it was so random. It was like the most random games too. It wasn't like any mainstream games. And I was like, okay, like I'll do that. And then I would remember seeing like some friends come in, or some like new people like, hey, what's up, dude? I'm so and so, and I'm like, oh, someone's watching. And
Somebody
then I'll talk
actually
to them.
cares.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, cool. And like, wait, they're talking back to me, and I could still focus on my game, and it's not like they're interrupting me or anything.
Yeah.
And like, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this. And little by little, I kept going. And then I would say that eventually, this is where I kind of took streaming serious. Was I got rated by this girl. Her name was See You Next Tuesday. That's literally what it. Her name is spelled out really hard. I was like, she actually still streams to this day. I don't tune in no more. Not respectfully, not because like, oh, she's bad or whatever. I don't find her content as interesting, but I still check on her actually.
Yeah. You
Like
check
it's
up
cool.
on her
Like,
on an occasion.
yeah, and I'll be like, oh, cool. Like she's still streaming, she's doing her thing. That's dope. That's it. But she had hit me with like a really big raid, and basically that was like what got me. One was it got me affiliate, and then two was like it helped me to reach the follower base. And I'm like, maybe I can keep going on with this. And
See
so,
how far you can get with it.
exactly. And so then, and it's crazy because I was a major Call of Duty boy until like Black Ops 3. And like now, all these new CODs, I'm like, I don't like none of them. I don't find none of them fun.
No.
They don't give me like the not even Warzone. Like I love challenges. I love when the game's challenging. I love when the game gives a when the game is very technical, but it rewards you because of how technical it is. Hence Apex.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean now obviously they nerfed so many things that I'm like, dude, it would have been so sick if it was there. But at the same time, I guess I kind of understand why they
Why
put
they
those
mess
nerfs.
with
But
certain things and then.
you know, and to not discourage players or whatever. And I get it, it just sucks. But I think, and I'm not gonna jump into that because there's a lot into that. I'm gonna, if we get into it or we get there, I'll down to talk more detail about that. But just bringing it back,
Okay.
um, 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 like that's when I ended up discovering I love movement shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And like Titanfall, there's
Oh.
Titanfall, there's Dusk, there's Doom. Basically, I like any shooters that are like Doom Eternal or Doom, where they're very just fast, very just
You're fast paced.
you gotta, dude. I love that. I love that
That's the one thing
because
that helped make it click, confirm that this was your game that you liked playing it.
exactly, and like Call of Duty was cool, but it just got slower, and I'm like, I hate slow pace. Like I want fast. I want, you know. And I think, and that it's actually funny. I don't talk about this too much on. I've never really talked about this on stream a lot, but I used to be a what's it called? Not a pro, but I used to be a really good Super Smash Brothers player.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be in tournaments and stuff because me and my friend would actually. His name is Jeff. We would actually literally, and I love this man to this day because he's that competitive. We would 1v1 each other, melee every almost like we had like anytime we could meet, it would be like Thursdays, it would be like the weekends where we would meet and just 1v1 each other and smash, and we would watch YouTube videos. I'm like, okay, how to, I don't know if you know some of these tech terms like wave dash, how to like L cancel, like this was all on melee.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever watched, I don't know if you've ever watched competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube, dude, it is like watching Dragon Ball. Like you know how when Goku and Vegeta are like do 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 do, you know how they're like teleporting all over the place. You're
Yeah.
like, I
How
can't
do
even
you
keep
keep up
up.
with that?
Please, if you, I don't, have you ever seen it before or no?
I've seen, like, because in the area that I live in, we had something at the library called a game night, and these same people would pick up Smash and not put it down, and I would just be like, God, I want to be as good as them, and then I got as good as them, and then I was just like, you know what, this isn't fun, and then I would walk away. I'd be like, all right, I'm bored. I'm going away. I'm gonna come over here and play Injustice 2 or Injustice.
Oh, Injustice is pretty cool.
Oh, it
I
was
like
so
the
much
combat,
fun.
Mortal Kombat, all those.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and so like I said, like if you ever want to look into it, it's really cool. I mean, I feel like if anything, Super Smash Brothers in general is probably one of the best fighting games out there, with like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I want to no Tekken. Oh my god, I was about to. It would be Super Smash Brothers, Tekken, and then Street Fighter. I think those, to me, from all the YouTube videos and the nerd in me, are probably my top three fighting games that like that reward you for knowing the tech of the game, like knowing the little things that can win you, even if it's like a nanosecond or whatever. I love that. I love just any little thing
That'll help get you an
That's
advantage.
exactly. And so, and I think that's why eventually, and that's why, so that's how I think I got into streaming because, okay, YouTube is great, but YouTube is more like variety content.
Mm-hmm.
I love, don't get me wrong, I think variety is great, but me personally, I'm more of like, I like competitiveness and sticking to something,
Yeah.
whatever that thing is. Even if I'm not like the best in the world at it, I think it's really fun to master a game to a point where like I know pretty much all of this, and I can just slap somebody without even really like putting 100% in.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever seen Apex, I love it when like you wall hop over a player and their controller's still turning. They're just like
They're struggling.
they're struggling to
Up,
move because
stick
their sense is
drift.
so slow.
Like,
And
dude,
stuff
stick
like
drift
that.
has
That I'm
gotten me
like,
killed so many fucking times in Apex. I couldn't tell you how angry I am.
dude, do you ever get like the alcohol like for to and get Q-tips to clean that mess?
Yeah, I would take apart like certain sections of the controller. I looked up YouTube videos on how to clean stick drift, and then people would bring me controllers, and they'd be like, "Can you do this for me?" And I started doing it like no brain, just no thinking, basically like driving, just doing it and handing it to him. And my dad's like, "Do you have any idea how much money you can make off of doing that?" And I'm like, "But they're my friends. I don't want to charge them money.
Not no more. No.
They're your customers now."
Wait, exactly, dude. No, wait. Tell me that story. So you got into like clean like the little controllers and stuff.
So,
Like,
so when I was, I think in high school, I had about, as if right now, I have 6 of these Xbox controllers because I had such bad stick drift, and think I still have a controller to this day. I don't know where the hell it is, but it had the worst stick drift. If I even moved it this way, it would just whoosh. I'd just be staring at a wall. It would be so bad. And then I was like, "Dad, how do I fix this?" And he's like, "What's the issue?" He would mess with the joystick, and he realized, "Oh, you have stick drift. It's a very common thing." And I got as far as Xbox controllers. My friend was like, "You should get into doing that for GameCube controllers or Nintendo 64 controllers. You could make a lot of money doing that." And I'm like, "But I want to fix my controllers. I don't care about anybody else." So, I learned how to take them apart, and I'm pretty sure it's on the ground now, but there is just a box of Xbox One controller parts sitting on my ground right now. And they're
like
just
a graveyard.
it's just a graveyard of what was left of a controller. And like if my buddy was missing a piece, he would be like, "Hey man, do you have this piece? I'll give you like $10 for it." And I'm like, "All right, here, I'll give it to you for free." And then at that time, I was so into like doing YouTube stuff, doing streaming stuff, doing all this other stuff, I completely forgot how to do it. I can get as far as taking this part off. After that,
Yeah.
I've just it's gone.
It's GG's.
It's gone.
Dude, that's what I hate about. Oh my god, I suck at remembering stuff from my life. Like I'll be like, I could do the hardest thing in the world, and then I'll be like, yeah, we did it. But then I'll be like, can you do it again? I'll be like, no, you're taking the same amount of time. That's literally what it feels like, dude. Oh yeah, and so I think, yeah, and I think that's what I would say that like then eventually, then for streaming, like what helped me, I guess what kind of I ended up finding like a niche for it was playing like the smaller games.
Yeah.
Like if you played like, obviously not the games that are like, oh my god, you'll get like,
Yeah,
not where
tons
like
of
the
viewers, blah
mainstream
blah blah
games,
blah blah.
yeah, or like it's like the very low key games, and I think a great game that kind of I saw that I was like, oh wow, I'm doing really well here in terms of viewers. It was like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Ah.
Dude, there's like a secret big fan base of zombie players. Like straight up, like if you wanted to, honestly, bro, like if you were to go and be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna stream Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies or just any of the Call of Duty zombies,"
Yeah.
there will be people gravitating towards your streams. They'll be like, "Hey man, what's up? Oh, you're doing this run," and then they'll like, "Oh, dude, you should get this or you should get that." And I'm like, "What the heck?" Like,
Where did you come from?
yeah, and they like keep coming, bro. Like, it's a trip. Like, it's cool playing the smaller games because you get like a community off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem. I got bored of it really fast. I enjoy those games. They're very fun. But I am a very multiplayer person.
Yeah.
I like to play against people. I could keep playing like a fighting game as long as I get to play against somebody. To me, it gets boring when I'm like, okay, I keep shooting AI or zombies. That's cool, but I'm like, no, I don't want to keep doing this. It's not fun no more, you know? And that's why it's funny.
That's how I was for when I first started. Of course, I played Skylanders and I played Halo 3. And at the time, I didn't have internet. My parents didn't put internet on my Xbox 360. And I would play through the Halo 3 game. I went from easy to medium to hard. I could do that front to back, and I think I got stuck on like the nightmare version of the mode because it was just one tap dead. I was like, well, this isn't fun anymore.
Did you ever see Moist Critical's YouTube challenge for that, for the Halo runs?
God, what? No, I don't think I have. I'll write it down. How does that sound? I'll write it down.
Yes. I'm like, for you to run it back and forth and not have... So, okay. Moist Critical was like... He likes to look for very, like, things that are not very known. Like, he's good at research, basically. And he was like... And he saw something... He was playing Halo, I think, one day. And then like, his chat was telling him, like, oh, dude, you should, like, play this. But then there's mods, like... Or not... I don't know what they're called in Halo. It's not necessarily a mod, but it was already like it built in the game so that it's like, oh hey, we can make this challenge harder. They were called perks or something. I don't know.
Skulls,
if you know what I'm talking
maybe?
about.
Yes, that would add difficulty to it.
Yes, and so he basically he saw this post about Halo where it's like, you have all these skulls on, and he's like, the only one that you're supposed to have off or something was like, I don't remember the full details of it, but it was just basically like, you can't die. Like, if you die, you restart the whole run. And then 2 was like, I think it was, what the heck was the other one? Like, you would get usually one shot. Oh, and then shooting enemies, like, they don't just instantly die. They freaking take forever to kill. And then the worst part is if you run out of ammo, you have to punch them. And then you don't have a HUD. There were so many things to it. And apparently, I guess he saw that no one has ever beaten it, right? And so then he's like, all right, I'm going to put like a $10,000 bounty if anyone can complete the game in these goals. And a guy just did it recently as of like last year.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's
without
insane.
Dying, bro. But he obviously, I think he did do like glitches where like out of bounds and all that. But even then, like, there was no way that like there's even like just in general, just doing the challenge was already really hard. And to get to there, I think he took like 12 hours or something like that. And he kept doing this every single time because every time he died, guess what?
Restart all the way
over. Yep. So it was a thing, dude, and it was awesome. I saw the whole thing. I'm like, that's actually insane in the brain.
Oh god. Oh, drop something on the ground. Oh,
no,
I hurt my back just bending down. I'm sitting in a chair and I bent over and that hurt. I'm 22 years old. I should be feeling this way.
old man.
Old man syndrome over here.
It's the games they take years from us.
Oh God.
So yeah, please look into it. You can just type on YouTube Moist Critical's Halo Challenge and it'll come up. I guarantee.
Well, most definitely. That's the second thing that I got on my list of stuff to take a look at.
Where did I go from there? I was there for a reason. Oh yeah, the whole multiplayer and challenges. That's
yeah.
So that's why we're streaming. Like, okay, yeah, I was gaining like 20 to 30 viewers on zombies, but I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, and so eventually, that's when I was like, wow, I really like Apex. Ooh, I want to keep playing this. I'm like, this is a hard shooter. I'm like, people don't just die as you look at them like you did in Call of Duty, right? And I'm like, oh dang, like I actually had to think. And I would say Overwatch was pretty much like one of my first games that had a ranked mode. I never played like CS:GO or like where they have a rank mode. I was like, that's a thing in like the multiplayer, because that's how much COD I only played. Like, yeah, they had like tournaments and stuff, but they didn't have like ranked modes to be like, well, this is you're at this, like, you play at this level. It was more like you just either were really high leveled, like prestige master or something like that,
Yeah, before I even got into, I think Overwatch was my very first online game that I played. It was the very first online game that I played, besides like being a kid and playing Call of Duty, being 5 and 56, dying over and over again. And then Overwatch was a game that I picked up and I played by myself and I got really good at. And then my friends would always be like, oh, here comes the person that has the kink for Overwatch. And I'm like, look, what the hell? I just walked up to school. Why are you screaming this?
It's because he sucks.
Because he hasn't put Soldier down yet. He hasn't picked up another character.
Dude, oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk. Dude, oh my. All I know is Reaper's the best character. So.
Oh, Reaper is best tank destroyer. Okay.
Mr. Edgelord himself.
Oh my God!
Everybody. Mr. Beyblade.
Let it rip. I called Reaper a Beyblade for so long. I think for about a year when I played Overwatch. Mm-hmm. And my friends were like, why do you call him that? Then they see his ult and they're like, ah, I see now. I see what you mean. It's a death.
Who's the nerd now? No. Dude, Beyblades. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I remember Beyblades. I had a whole state. I had a red stadium that would sit underneath my bed, would collect dust and just unknown, like, little wood chips and stuff, because we're in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Wood chips would just fall in there. And I every day I would mess with them. I would take it and I would just shake it outside. And my neighbors thought that I was crazy for the longest time because I would go outside and do that. I swear I heard the lady next door, that kid's on drugs, something, went back inside of her house, didn't say nothing else to me the entire time I lived in that house. Oh my God.
Dude, you see that you see that people actually put metal on the Beyblades now?
Oh my God.
It's so cool. I mean, they do it in like a controlled environment, but I'm like, that's so sick.
It's so sick and dangerous.
I think it's worth it.
Oh God.
It's real life Beyblade, bro. The pieces break each other, bro. Come on, you telling me that's not epic? That's so sick.
The Beyblades that came out where they would hit so hard they would just break apart. Do you remember? Like, you wouldn't put the screw in all the way, and it would just boom. Your Beyblade would just explode. When I was in elementary school, they would designate one dude's locker to just playing Beyblades. And we would gather around. We were little gamblers in elementary school.
I'm
I
betting
bet
my
you.
Cheetos.
Some dude brought in $20 and says, if this guy wins, I will give the next person $20. And it was just, the teachers didn't know any better. As far as they knew, they were closing their doors. Bang! But they kept hearing it consistently. Tink, 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 tink. Two kids ended up getting in trouble because they were technically gambling off of the Beyblades. And why do I feel like that's something that would happen nowadays? Somebody would get in trouble for that. It's promoting gambling. Where's the rock when you need him? Shut up, bitch.
Dude, but that's like the sick thing about it, though. I don't know if you remember pods. They were like these little circle things that like they look like pennies, and the point of the game was you were supposed to flip the other person, but it's supposed to be on the tail side.
Yeah.
Did you ever remember those?
I don't remember those. It's bad because I remember seeing some kids doing it, and I think actually a kid got into a fight over something like that, saying that he was cheating or something, like put tape or gum on something on his penny. Got into a fight, and I'm pretty sure both of those kids got suspended.
You might have heard something.
I might have heard something. Call me crazy.
No. I mean, honestly, I feel like it was very okay. I feel like it wasn't a big thing, but it was definitely a thing. And so I think the only reason I remember seeing it was because a lot of the school I went to was more kind of like Asian.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I saw a lot of those. So I'm like, oh, like, dude, this is sick. I don't think I would think maybe like somewhere, I don't know what part of like Asia or where it comes from, but basically like they were pretty big, and I'm like, they weren't that big in America, but when I saw them, and I remember seeing people like actually bet on them, that was crazy to me. And then they're like, oh, you have to lose this piece if it flips over, and I'm like, dude, I'm not giving that to you. Just gave up like $10 for that thing. What the heck is wrong with you? You're smoking something.
That's
and then, like,
mine.
the power level would be on it. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not betting this. This thing's cool. But I do remember that I bet it one time, and then I actually won some pieces. And then after that, I stopped. I was like, no.
I remember doing that because they would do that for Yu-Gi-Oh too. When I was in middle school, Yu-Gi-Oh was a big thing, and they would go off of the betting rules. You had to put a card down depending on who win or lost. I remember playing against a guy with a Blue Eyes White Dragon. He said, I'm going all out, dropped it on him. Dropped it on me, and I'm like, he's got a good deck going. And he didn't have a very good deck, apparently, because I managed to win his Blue Eyes White Dragon. And he cried about it, told a teacher about it, and the teacher was like, well, did you say he could have it? Yeah, but that's not the point. Well, it's his now. His parents...
Oh, your teacher's a G.
She was on top of it.
She respected the streets.
Mm-hmm. She knew what was up. Street rules, all right.
She said, "Respect the street rules." Dude, that's actually crazy. I don't know teachers that actually would do that. Straight up. I mean, probably not nowadays, but like, that's huge for a teacher to just be like, "Dude, if you lost your bet, like." That's actually wild.
I'm also pretty sure that lady was at least 80 years old, and I had no idea. I'm pretty sure she called it a Pokemon card when she looked at it, and I was like, well, I'm pretty 25% sure she's senile, so what the teacher says goes, I guess.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I mean, that's cool, but like, I wish I'm like, either your schools were full of gamblers because my school is like 10% that like some of them gambled. At least my elementary school, you know.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm like, you guys were ballsy. You guys were like, nah, give me your card cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the
Dude,
Midwest, man, you gotta respect certain rules, or you could get in big trouble for that. You can get more trouble snitching on somebody than you could the person actually doing something wrong. Like, it was that bad.
that's crazy. No, in the West, I think they're just more scared. That's how it literally was. I'm scared of losing this. I ain't losing that. No, no, no.
Because I
Um,
remember getting into a fight when I was in middle school as well, and I fought a lot when I was in middle school because I had a lot of pent up aggression because I had some
no.
personal stuff going on. And I remember getting into a fight with some kid whooped me. Whooped the shit out of me. He punched me in the head. I had a giant welt on my head. And I sat in the office the rest of the day. And I didn't see that kid anywhere. And my dad was like, "So why is my son in the office and not the other kid?" He's like, "Well, he started the fight." And at that point, my dad was like, "You know what? If make him swing first next time. Make him swing first so he can sit in the office."
That's crazy.
Yeah, my parents were OGs. They didn't give a shit. They did
They
not
said
care.
he gonna learn.
He gonna learn today.
He gonna learn the hard way. But yeah, man, I think definitely, yeah. So I guess that's but going back to like the streaming, I think definitely I I fell in love with it after a while, and Apex was probably one of the first games that like playing it competitively, and then like I met some really great people on the way. I think even to this day it was cool because I would say I played in my first money tournament with, as you can see, the guy on the wall. His name
Hmm.
is Justin. And our other friend name is Johnny, and they were like the first. They were my first two like teammates I've ever played in like an actual money tournament. And dude, playing act like tourney Apex or like actual competitive Apex, besides like ranked and pubs, you know,
Yeah.
I promise you, you will get a kick from the tourneys. Like, and this was not no like, oh my god, like this is a 1,000 viewer, stream or something. But it was like, there was passion from other players playing, and then like, and then being seeing like the tourney rules and all that was really cool too. And you can just feel like, dude, everybody here is like passionate and they want to win. And then you got like some people talking smack. You're like, what the heck, like, dude, okay, this is like legit. And it was crazy because we all literally called off work. I remember telling my family, because even my family's like, my family, I think it's cool now. I think it was cool because I know back then they probably would have been like, why are you missing work for this? Like, that's super dumb, that's super stupid, blah blah blah. And it was pretty cool, and I think, and that's why I'm very grateful, because I think my parents have like kind of learned over time. Um, but they're like, Ozzie, do you think this is something that like you're passionate about, and like you want to give it your all, and maybe it might take you somewhere, you might see yourself somewhere in this, like give it a try. Maybe this might, like, I don't know, like probably push your confidence, or like maybe push you to actually want to be like a pro or something. And I was like, what the heck? Like, my family's actually supportive. Like, they support this. And I think that's what even made it better, was that I had friends and family that supported me in gaming, which, and I'm saying this because my family was never not supportive, but it was more like, this is kind of a waste of a time. And I know they weren't coming off. They weren't coming off like jerks. They weren't coming off as like, oh, like video games bad, video games this, video games. No, like it was like Ozzie, be real with yourself. Like you're wasting time, kind of. And we're only saying this because we care and love you. And so it's funny because then that's when I asked to join the tournament for Apex, and it threw me off that my dad and my mom were like, "Yeah, dude, go ahead. Like miss that day of work. Like check out where you might go see yourself in this." And it was cool playing that tourney that day, dude. We literally played for like 8 hours, bro. We started at 11 a.m. Like that's when the tourney like actually started. I think me and Justin Johnny woke up like at 10, and we practiced for like 1 hour, and then we joined the tourney, and then we had to go through like the brackets and stuff, and that literally didn't finish till like 5 p.m. And dude, it was so sick. It was so sick. It was like how it ended. Hale, I don't know if you want to. I have literally the Twitter clip. It's on my. It's literally on like as soon as you click on my page. Um, where that last game got a second place. We went from 8th or 6th place to second place, and it was the best feeling like in the world to know like, oh my god, we played against really good people, or at least against other players, and we got second place.
That's
And not
amazing.
only that, but we had support from like our family and friends, like all of us. And they were like, "Let's go, let's freaking go!" You know, I'm getting messages like, "Yeah, yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like that kind of feeling. Oh, like, dude,
I bet that feeling
it,
was absolutely overwhelming for you.
it literally like I remember screaming so loud. I think I had like lost my voice a little bit that day because we got so hyped because we were just like, dude, we actually like clutched it through. Um, and man, I would want to be in another tournament. My only thing is, and that's actually the cool thing is that from learning from that tournament, I was like, wow, like I'd enjoyed it a lot, but the setting up, how long you're in there, and the money, like financially, being realistic, like it's not. I don't. I don't. One is I don't think I'm ready to be in that position. Like I loved it, but the time and resource it took out, I'm like, I did not like that.
Mm-hmm.
8 hours, and we got like our prize was like what, like $200, $100, and so it
Two
was like
hundred
40
dollars or
40
one hundred
split
dollars for all of you guys, or just for the team?
split. So yeah, it's team just for the
Okay.
team, and I'm like, and that's why I said it wasn't a big tournament or anything. It was great. It was dope. But I'm like, okay, imagine that on a bigger scale, and then even then, like how much you kind of miss out on like your day and weekend with like friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of realized, like, dude, wow, like I love video games, but I also really love my friends. And honestly, to be where I was at in that time, or like to get second place, like I could not have won if that support wasn't there,
Yeah.
straight up. And that's what I kind of feel like people nowadays with like pros and seeing them and all that, like a pro's great, but I definitely think it's really unhealthy.
Oh
At
God, yes.
least, at least like relationship wise, man.
I feel like if you're a
And
pro, you're gonna have a struggle in trying to interact with certain people, like in real life, if you know what I
dude,
mean.
no, and seriously, like it's crazy. Like I was like, I love it, but like I can't see myself in that position unless I'm actually like, like okay, like full time streaming or something. Like cool, like at least that's my job. Then I would totally like consider like, yeah, I'd be a pro. But I'm not a big full time streamer. I'm not
Yeah.
getting the income where like I can pay for my house or bills or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. Like being real, it's not worth it. Now I'm not trying to discourage anybody, I'm not trying to like take you away from it, but that's honestly the realistic part about it. Join a tournament and spend your whole day in it, and you'll see, like, dude, wow, this takes a lot. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you this and everybody this: value your friendships and your family more than video games. Video games will be there,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are not right at home or anywhere else, that's so whack. Like, imagine winning first place, right? But then who's like there to celebrate it with you?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, a really good example of that is something that happened today, the ALGS that went down today. I feel like that's a really good example. There's that, and there was the CDL that was going on today as well.
What about it exactly?
Uh, Basically what you said. Like, I mean, they were in an environment that was surrounded. Because I'm trying to think about like prior COVID.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
like that. I feel like that's a really good example of it. 'Cause, yeah, you won
Mm-hmm.
this tournament, and you're getting all these Twitter posts and posting all these TikToks and doing all this other stuff. But who's at home with you right now to help you celebrate what just happened?
Exactly. Literally, literally. That's literally like, dude, that it's a reality check, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I'm like, and that's why I'm like, I love it, and I think that's why from here on out, like, even when I do stream and stuff, I notice that like, yeah, I would like to stream every day and like keep up the content, but then I'm like, no, I feel refreshed when I hang out with my friends. I feel refreshed when I'm not playing every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, dude. I will try hard. I will kick butt. I will get in there and like grind as much as I can in that one day.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Mike, I need to be good. I need to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually good. Because if I'm not spiritually good, nothing else is gonna work.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Nothing else is
And
going
I
to
think
flow.
exactly nothing else is gonna feel right. Nothing else is gonna like I need to step outside and touch grass.
Yeah. Quite literally what everybody on the internet is telling everybody else.
Like respectfully touch grass. Like, okay, be a gamer. Cool. Play 8 hours. I don't care. Play as long as you want. Fine. But make sure you go and hang out with some people. Because then that's where people are like, but I'm shy, I'm nervous. Well, yeah, you're stuck because
You're stuck in that loop.
yeah. And it's like, dude, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
It's not good at all. It's not. And I play a lot of video games, but that's why I like to make sure that I'm like, I need to step out. I need to step out of this box I'm in. I'm still learning, to be honest, like of stepping out of my box. And it's funny because it didn't really kick in for me until like maybe now. Like, being real, I would always want to kind of be like just at home and like just playing for like just keep playing and streaming, playing and streaming, playing and streaming. But once I finally stopped doing that and actually like, hey, my friends came over. I should maybe get out of my room and go talk to them. Like, people would come over, dude.
Get out of
Straight up,
my
people were
swamp covered man cave that probably stinks of Domino's pizzas. And no, I get that.
Cheetos, Takis.
All stuck to your shirt the moment you walk out.
Hey,
you, you walk out, you hear him hit the floor. Toop, 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 toop. Oh, I was saving those for later.
dude, no, yeah, and so that's why like I think it's cool because, and here's the final, I think to the final question, which was, you know how you asked me why do I want to stream? Like,
Yes.
why do I stream?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I would say the reason I started streaming was to show people that like, look, I can stream, but I also have God in my life doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know And again, like I know not a lot of people are religious or anything. Like I love God. Like that is my life. That's what I grew up with. That's how I get to meet all you guys. Like I learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from God. I'm not gonna take credit for my own. I'm selfish as heck. I'm prideful as heck. Like naturally, me, I am whack. But because of all the stuff I learned from God, that's how I kind of became the person who I am today, and I'm still growing. You know. And that's why when I stream, my biggest thing to people was like, look, like I can do all these things, you know, but I still got God behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my confidence right there. Like I can conquer anything if I put my mind to it, and I really want that thing. I know God's right there backing me up and like, hey, you want that? I'm like, yeah, fool, I want that. Give it to me. And the cool thing is like, dude, he's right there. He's right there. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. If I want it,
I takes it.
I get it. Right?
I can do
And
this
so
the easy way or the hard way.
Oh no!
I had to say it. You put it on the plate. I had to grab for it.
I did. I set you up for it. And so yeah, and you know, and that's my whole thing. That's why I like it when like, and because also my parents are like youth leaders, so they work with kids. They work with high schoolers. They work with like, you know, middle school, and it's cool, you know, and that's why I think I want to be that example to like kids, and even adults, even like now, you know, that like, dude, I can do this. I can become big. I can become up here, but I'm still gonna be deep rooted in my foundation, and that's with God, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't cuss and all these other things, you know. And again, even though I'm talking about this, I am not judging anybody. Like, yeah, is there some things that I might not like agree with? Yeah, but again, I am nobody at the end of the day, and you are you, and I am not here to judge you. My goal is I'm just here to love you, bro. I'm here to just love you for who you are. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. None of us are perfect. Straight up.
I will say that I am a really big fan of that quote. I'm here to love you.
Man.
I love that. That's awesome.
So that's really my big thing is like I'm just showing that like I can do all these things, but I just got God behind my back and all of it.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Cool as heck, man.
Yeah, it's always cool as hell to learn about smaller streamers that not very many people give the opportunity to, especially with religious streamers, if that makes sense. People that do not cuss, and I feel like those people deserve a little bit more in their life because they have something to believe in.
And that's the thing too is that like I really and that's why like yeah I make and I'm very and it's actually crazy because like I won't tell a lot of you guys like hey can you guys not cuss like if I'm barely first meeting you I won't really say anything because I'm like well I'm not first I'm barely getting to know you and the second is like I want to respect you I don't want to be nagging you know that's not the right way to come about it but as the more as I see us get closer then like yeah they'll be like hey dude like and it's cool because like people noticed it and I actually don't even say anything like people are like oh my bad Oz and I'm like oh what are you apologizing for and he's like you don't cuss and I was like well yeah
that's actually like, the thing I was going to tell you before we started the episode is I understand that you're not a big cussing person and it's really hard for me because military nicotine caffeine and cussing is in my blood so
yeah no and thank you bro I appreciate it I really do.
I'm trying to keep it a little chilled out here. I'm trying.
Yeah, like
this is probably the least amount of cussing I've probably done in an hour. Get me into the game of Apex, that'll probably be a different story.
And that's like the thing that is like really cool that like, and that's why I'm like I give respect to you guys because like see with me I grew up in a really good. I grew up blessed. There you go. I grew up very protected. You know, I grew up very like. I had both my parents. They loved each other.
Yeah.
You know, I got to see. Now, I'm not saying like I've never seen anything bad or whatever, but like
Yeah.
I definitely grew up like blessed, man. Like I don't got no scars. I don't got no like yeah, I do. I got hurt, but not like that emotional trauma because you know, I know who to take it up with to talk about that mess. You know.
Yeah.
Um.
I know what you mean 100% because this is actually going to be a chaos personal moment. So when I was 6, I was at a very young age when my parents got separated. And then it took me until I got out of my military training for me to realize that my mom did not care about me whatsoever. She did not care that I had just come home. She did not care that I had my own house. I was what's referred to what my girlfriend's dad called a built-in babysitter because my mom had I had a stepsister and a stepbrother. I'm not going to say their names because I'm going to try and protect them a little bit.
Yeah, no,
And
that's cool.
my mom went out drinking one night. She left me at home at my house with the kids, the apartment, and it was getting extremely late. I needed to be up to do some stuff around the house, finish up unpacking and everything. And I was not leaving my door unlocked because I had just moved into the house. And when that happened, I texted my mom. I could have said it in a nicer way, but I basically said, "You have 5 minutes to be home or I'm locking the door." I could have said it in a much nicer way, but almost instantly my mom called me. So something happened? Did something happen? So I don't want to leave my door unlocked. And then I finally said it. So, Mom, you do this every time I'm in town, or you do this every time you come into town and you drop the kids off with me. That's what you do. You leave them there, and then you go out drinking with your friends from Iowa. Well, she did not like that. She knocked on my door, extremely drunk, had the kids pack all of their stuff up out of my own apartment. I'm standing in my kitchen, and my mom points at me and says, "Fuck you, Justin," and walks out of my house. And the very next morning, by the way, I'm on a call with my buddies that I'm playing games with, and they can hear the whole situation going down. Damn. So, yeah, to say the least, I don't talk to my mom that much anymore because of that. I'm over it. I've accepted it at this point. So,
no, man. I mean, it's hard, bro. That honestly, thanks for like just even telling us that story. Telling me that story, like that. Seeing that freaking sucks. Like, even for me in my heart, I'm like, I don't even know how to.
You don't know how to process it.
Yeah, like
I get
it's
that.
Just, and I mean, I'm glad you put your foot down, man.
Yeah,
this needs to happen, bro. I mean, I hope that now, like you from seeing that, if you ever have kids one day, you know what to do, man.
Yeah, I know what not to do, and I know what to do.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. My man. It's cool, man. No, and I mean, and I think seeing that, that's the kind of stuff that I love to hear because then it reminds me, like, hey, man, like, be grateful for what you got. Like, that for me, like, that's me telling you that. Like,
no, yeah, I get it.
And so that taking that step back and that's the crazy thing is like, but even besides like seeing like, and that's what I want. Like when I talk to people, is I want you to feel like, dude, be comfortable. Don't feel tense, pressured. Like, dude, no. Like, bro, I want you to just
relax,
sit back, relax, be you, bro. I don't care what weird thing you like or whatever. Like, I'm just here to talk to you. That's it. So I think that's really cool, man. But going on though, like, so from going from the streamer questions, what was the second one? I totally
we kind of gone through the little bit of the more hard part, the memory, but we're going into the funny work stories, funny military stories, funny high school stories. For me, it'd be funny military stories. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I do got some. I do got some funny work and funny high school stories.
Do you want to go first, so you can?
I'll give you the chance so I can think. So I can stack them up right now. I'm like I got like two on top, but I'm like I know there's a good one in there.
So
Go for it. Go for it.
For me, I have two. The first one that I had, so when I was in high school, I was a big pothead, as everybody is in the Midwest, and I
Must be that bored.
so so I'm sitting in the middle of class, and I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I can't wait till lunch. And I get on my phone and I order a pizza through Papa John's, and I have it sent to the Y that's right next door. So this is the first time I did it. So
Okay.
the way our school works is there's the YMCA and then there's the high school. The high school and the YMCA are connected by one corridor.
Oh. Okay. I'm mathing it now.
And the office for the Y is like right there, so I could walk through the corridor, pick up the pizza, and leave. And that's exactly what I did. I called the people at the Y. I was like, hey man, just leave the pizza at the desk. I'll come and get it. And I walked around school for my first two periods with the pizza in my hand and a 2-liter and a brownie. And I had so much respect that day that some teacher let me sit in his seat. Like, he was like, I'm not going to move somebody that's got a pizza right now. Are you crazy? So that's the first time we did it. The second time, we didn't order through Papa John's. We ordered through Domino's. And it was a collective group of people. So it was about 5 people that were trying to get it all organized. And we get the pizza ordered. We get the pizza sent. I call the person at the Y desk, and he's not picking up. So I'm kind of panicking right now, and I'm like, oh my god, if somebody just grabs that pizza, it's gone. We're not getting it. So one of the administrators walks into our classroom in the process of the pizza guy dropping the pizza off at the Y desk.
Okay.
So we kind of had one guy that was a scout, and then the other person that was the runner. So we were like, all right, you scout out, make sure the administrator doesn't walk in, you book it the moment you see him leave.
The whole mission.
Like, it was a mission. We had an assignment, and that's what was happening. So it happens, the dude books it, grabs the pizza, comes back, and he puts it in kind of like a little side room that separates one of the classrooms. So there's another classroom, like kind of an artwork room, and it was like a photography class, and then the classroom that we were in. So we put the pizza in the side room, and we left it there until lunchtime came around. And we almost get caught by the administrator. We almost get caught, and he finally leaves. And we're like, oh, thank God, because we were so stressed out. And one of the kids had walked from his classroom through the little classroom, the area that we had, the corridor, walked into our room, poked his head in. It was like, why does it smell like pizza in here? All 5 of us just lost it. We thought it was so unbelievably funny. We could not hold it in. And it was so unbelievably funny. And of course, the third time I did it, I got caught, and I had to do the walk of shame.
No.
I had to do the walk of shame. The walk of shame, because they had my backpack in one hand, they had the pizza in another. I got to carry the 2-liter and the brownie to the principal's office. I had to go home because I technically left school grounds, and I didn't get a phone call. My nothing. So the moment I got home, my parents were like, oh, you made it all the way through school. All right, sit down, I'll have dinner ready.
What the heck? Bruh.
It was a whole situation that we had going down. And it was so unbelievably funny. looking back on that made me realize, man, we really could have got in trouble if we got caught.
I mean, those are the best stories though.
Those
When you're trying
are,
to hide something or bring it in, those are honestly
especially
my
in like
favorite.
high school. It's because you're at that point, you're a senior and you just don't care. You're at that point where you just don't care. You want to get it done and over with. You have your credits, you have your classes, you're done. But it's
You really, yeah. You honestly, that's honestly what it is. It's just like, I'm done. Like, what
so
am
what
I
are you
doing?
gonna do? Kick me
I was
out?
saying this. I was saying this. I was like, why? I'm like, why are they? I'm like, why? What is the point of having general ed in colleges if like we already do it in high school? When like we should just have like freshman, sophomore, and then just send them off to college because they literally repeat it, bro. High school, I don't even not even getting an education, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the way how it works is so bamboozling to me.
That's funny.
But no, I like the pizza story, man. Got a
It's
bust mission.
and oh yeah, we were on a mission, man. We could not get caught. It felt like I was in a 007 movie and I was stealing a ruby. Okay, it was terrifying.
Still in the pizza, bro. Nah, but I do have something now that you reminded me of school, which is pretty cool. So so weirdly enough, it's cool. I'm going off on your food story.
Hmm.
So back in middle school, or yeah, it was middle school. So they had so for lunch. This is how it worked, right? So you got like the table, and then you got like us over here, right? You got like people, friends eating, right?
Yeah.
But if there is food that you're like, oh, I don't want this, so instead of throwing it away, you can just put it on the table. Like, all right, I'm gonna put my milk here. I'm gonna put my chicken nuggets here. I'm gonna put my fries here, pizza slice, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So usually, what would happen is like you'd see these kids just like drop off stuff, right? Here's the thing, though. I'm addicted to milk. I love milk. I can drink milk by itself. I'll go get a cup right now just to drink milk. I love milk that like I don't know why I'm really obsessed with it. I mean, I haven't drank it as I used to when I was younger, but dude, I love milk. That's all you gotta know, right? So one day it was summer or it was like really hot, and I would remember like these kids they would just leave their milk cartons where the box are. So you'd see like 10 of them stacked in a row, next
Hmm.
back to back, because kids weren't drinking the milk.
Yeah.
And one day, all I remember was I would stand up, I'd grab like two, drink it, grab two, drink it, right? Eventually, one of my friends one day, he was like, he was looking at me, right? And he was like, one, two, three, four. He's like, Ozzie. And I'm like, what? Well, what's up? And he's like, how many milk cartons have you drank? And I'm like, I don't know, bro, to be honest. And he's like, how many more can you drink? And I'm like, let's figure it out.
Oh no, you were that guy. Oh, I was that guy in middle school too. No.
Dude, no, it was epic. So these kids are still leaving these milk cartons there, right? And I remember, all right, one, two, three, four. I think I started eventually hitting like 15 of those milk cartons by myself. No help. Dude, a staff member from the school comes up to me, right? And they're saying, yo, Oz, like, hey, like, you think you should be drinking all that milk? And I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? And she's like, okay. Like, I didn't say that rudely to her, but I was like, no, like, I like milk. I'm going to keep drinking it.
It's
So I
gonna
keep
keep
drinking it, and I'm
happening.
all on like 17th, 18th one, right? And then you hear from like one of the like the megaphone speakers of like the school building or whatever. That's like, psh, Ozzie, can you come to the office? And I'm like, and I remember all my friends. You know how when you get called to the, you know how when you get called to the office, all your friends are like, ooh, you know.
Ooh.
Everyone was like, why is he going to the office? So then I
You're
remember I'm
drinking
like
too
walking to the
much
office
milk.
and I'm like, dude, no, it's great. It's so wild. So then I'm walking, right? And I'm like, what did I do? I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going home early or something happened. I don't know. So then So then I'm walking in the office, right? And dude, I remember this crystal clear, which was crazy because I suck at remembering stuff. I remember crystal clear. So I sit down, right, and I'm in the principal's office, and her name was Principal Mia, right?
Oh boy.
And she's like, Ozzie, she's like, do you know why you're here in the office? And I'm like, no, like, why am I here? That's a good question.
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, why am I here, right? And she's like, well, you know, from what I've heard, we're told you're drinking too much milk. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like,
Why is
okay.
that an issue?
And I'm like, yeah. The weird thing is, the principal isn't like mad or anything. She's just like very, like, serious, but also like just normal about it. And I'm like,
Just super
I
casual
can't
about it.
tell. Yeah, super casual. She's just, and I'm like, are you actually mad at me? Am I? And she's
Am I
like,
good to
and
go?
this,
Like,
yeah. So then, no, and it gets wild, bro. So then she's like, so, from one of the staff telling me you drink too much milk, I have to call your mom and let her know what you're doing. And I'm like, no
okay.
shot you're calling my mom, right? I mean, for my parents to receive a call from the principal's office, which has ever happened, it would have been a big deal if it was like I got in a fight or something, right? Dude, yeah, this is hilarious. She gets So she says, I'm gonna have to call your mom. And I'm thinking, I'm like, my mom's at work, but I'm like, okay, go ahead. I didn't tell her anything. I was just like, okay. I'm literally just watching this because I'm just curious, and I'm like, dude, I don't even think my mom would be mad. I'm just like, I think she's gonna laugh. Right.
She's
So
gonna
then she
laugh or
picks up
yell
the
at the
phone.
principal.
Yeah, this is wild. Like, my mom's chill, so it's funny because I'm like, I'm like thinking, I'm like, what is my mom's reaction gonna be? I'm like, dude, I'm curious. So then the principal was like, okay, deet, 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 deet. Hello? And then I hear my mom, hi. And then the principal was like, hi, this is Principal Mia. I'm calling from Ozzie's middle school. It was called Jaguar or something. And your son was reported because he was doing something he was not supposed to. And my mom was like, oh, what happened? Like, just kind of worried. And she's like, well, one of the staff members told us he was drinking too much milk.
What the?
Dude, dude. My mom, right? My mom, like, you can hear her on the phone. Dude,
Just fucking laughing.
I can hear over the speaker. I'm like, dude, she's laughing, right? And my mom's like, okay, like, I'm sorry, like, is there
Is there anything
else?
else?
And then the principal's like, nope, thank you. We just wanted to let you know. And then my mom's like, okay, click. And then I'm looking at the principal like, I don't know whether to laugh or like think this was a serious conversation. Like,
This is something that actually happened, and I witnessed it.
This was an actual NPC moment in human world history that, like, wow, like, this actually happened. Like, this was an event that took place.
This is a side quest from a D-class game. What is this?
I don't even know what the reward is. So then, like, I literally start, and here's the best part of the story. So then I walk back, right? And I'm walking back to, like, where my friends are at the lunch table, right? And they're like, Ozzie, what happened? What happened? And I'm like, I got reported in for drinking too much milk. And the funny part was one of the staff members comes up to me, right? And she's like, Ozzie, I'm so sorry. I don't know why they called you to the office. I was just telling them you're just drinking too much milk. And like, what can we do to stop you? And I was, and I told the lady, like, I'm cool with you. I don't really care. I mean, it's me. I'm drinking my milk. And here's the best part. So then after all that happened, what do you think I went back to do?
Same
Five more,
thing.
five more, five more. Exactly. I end up finishing it. I end up drinking like 20, 22 of those milk cartons. It was the best thing ever. And to this day, I get. And the crazy part is, I can have my mom, like, if she was awake, I would have her tell you, like, this was an actual thing that took place that just she could not stop laughing because she was just like, she was serious, like she was serious and casual, like, bro, what? I don't, yeah, I don't,
So I don't have
dude, a
time
lot
for
of weird
this.
things have, yeah, bro, a lot of random stuff has happened to me, or like, you're like, why did that happen in the first place? Why? What made you think you should do that in the first place? I can give you a high school one, and that one's
That was
pretty
pretty
bizarre
good.
too.
That was pretty good.
But
What did
thank
you
yeah,
get sent
that
down
was
to the office for? Oh, drinking too much milk. Put it on my permanent record. I don't care.
I'm a juvenile now. Boom. If you guys want to get in trouble, just drink.
Take me to
milk.
juvie. Take me away. I know my rights.
No,
Oh my
and now
God.
I could drop you another, but I don't know if you have one. I don't. Do you got another
I
one?
mean, I think I have another one, but okay. So this is another high school one. So,
Hey, but you gotta make sure you go to juvenile. You gotta make sure milk was in your story.
oh,
Just kidding. No,
But-
go for it, drop it.
so when I was in high school, we had to take a conceptual physics class. If you took like a biology class or something, you had to take like a conceptual physics class. It was one term, I didn't care, but one of my friends who was in the military, he was a big Marine guy, and
Okay.
he was the A plus student. He was the one person, and this class was so unbelievably easy. I could close my eyes, mark down stuff on the test, and pass with like at least an 80%. This class was so easy. All I needed to do was show up and listen. That's all I needed to do. Well, I looked at this guy, and I was like, how about this? Midterms come out here in 2 weeks. Whoever has the highest grade, the loser has to shave all their hair off.
Yes!
The loser has to shave all of their hair off. And he was like, alright, I'm down, bet. And 2 weeks later, our midterms come in. We both have A's, but he had a 93.12% and I had a 92.32%.
You guys are kissing each other. Right
I technically lost the bet, and I had already brought a razor to school. There is a picture floating around my house of me. I couldn't like get a razor to shave all my hair off the top of my head. So I said the next best thing, and I shaved off my eyebrows. So that's not even the best part. The best part is I come back with I wore a lot of beanies, and my beanie was covering my eyebrows, that didn't exist anymore. And I wore that the whole rest of the time. I was known as the kid that had no eyebrows. The best part was I went home that day. My parents had no clue about this bet until I came home with no eyebrows. I walked in the door with my beanie over my non-existent eyebrows, and I looked at my stepmom. I was like, hey, I got a surprise for you. Keep in mind, you see how long this room is? Say the door's right there, and the couch is like over here, slanted. She's watching TV. I'm like, hey, something happened. I tore the beanie off, no eyebrows. My stepmom screamed bloody murder, and she laughed at me for an hour. I sat and my stepmom made me call my dad FaceTime. Made me call him with no eyebrows. My dad thought it was a filter on Snapchat. And he was like, "Wait a minute, where's your eyebrows?" I'm like, "Dad, they're gone." And he's like, "Yeah, no kidding, all right? What happened?" And I told him the story. I went the rest of that. It was my junior year of high school. I went throughout my junior year of high school with no eyebrows on.
Okay, I have a question. How long does it take to grow back?
How long does it take?
Since you shaved it, how long does it take to grow back?
How long does it take? Well, it's hard to explain exactly because I can't remember. I just showed up back to school with eyebrow. I think I showed up my senior year, first term with eyebrows, and they were like, "Oh, your eyebrows grew back," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks for stating the obvious. Appreciate that. That's the only thing you gotta say to me. I've been gone for 3 months, and that's all you gotta say to me." So, I would say probably about 3 months. And on top of that, I got a really...
3 months.
It took me 3 months to get my eyebrows back. And that was probably the funniest phone call I think I've ever had to make when I was in high school. Keep in mind, I also had a job. I worked at McDonald's, and I was in the back. My higher-ups, they normally called me a different name, which I'll get into in another episode. But they called me a name that was no eyebrows. And I would hide the hat that I had, the hat they made you wear in McDonald's, I would cover it completely so it made it look like I was regular. I was normal. But it was probably the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me, but still the most memorable and most funny thing that's happened to me. It was just so funny.
Dude. Yeah, you're encouraging me not to ever shave my eyebrows, because like, yes, you can shave your hair, maybe your beard, and they'll grow back pretty quick, like at least like a week or two. Your eyebrows though take like 3 months.
It took a while. It took a while for me to get my eyebrows back.
No shot, bro. That's
it's like when you have facial hair when you're a kid and it doesn't grow whatsoever, but the moment you shave it, it instantly grows back. But because, you don't normally shave your eyebrows, it takes a while. If that makes sense.
Like my dad shaves my eyebrows, but the cool thing is that, like, obviously he doesn't shave it to like where I can't see nothing. But like it's I didn't think it took that long though. That's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Oh man. Now I'm like, it's crazy because I'm like, I know I got some pretty crazy what's it called, like haircut. Like, did you ever see Silent Library on MTV?
Silent Library, yes. I loved Silent Library because they would always put the worst actors on there, like the cast from Jersey Shore. That was the most memorable one that I had because my older sister loved Jersey Shore and I absolutely hated it. And seeing them eat all this nasty stuff and going through all of this just made me cackle. It was so funny.
Dude, okay. What about Jack Butt? You know what I'm talking about?
Jack Butt. What?
Switch the butt with donkey, or the actual way.
Oh, okay. I was confused for a sec. I get it now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I could technically it's just the show's name, but
yeah.
Dude, so my cousins and my dad. All I'm gonna say is this: we were inspired by a lot of the events that took on the show that we would actually do it in person.
Oh no! I don't like where this is going.
Nut shots, bowling ball, paintball.
Oh
I
my
actually
god.
have videos of me on YouTube, and I would say that's why I feel like even now, eat dog food, cat food, whatever. I would say even as of now, like I think a lot of my physical challenges, like I haven't done this in a while, and I'm pretty sure that if I were to bring it back up, people would want this. Is like me getting shot by a paintball gun while trying to do like a challenge or something. Like I actually did that as one of my sub goals, like last year,
Oh god.
and it was hilarious because my dad, he has like the pistol paintball gun, right?
Oh.
And and so then one day, and so not one day, but like he was like, so chat had reached that stuff going. I'm like, all right, like we're gonna do this, right? So I'm telling my dad, all right, like, hey, just do like 2, 3 shots, right?
Oh.
2 or 3 shots. The video of it is on YouTube. Um, it, and so I walk out, right? Obviously, I have like the paintball mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, I'm ready. This man, instead of just launching, like I said, only 2 or 3 shots, guess what he does? Let me just unload the whole mag on him. And I'm like, Frank, stop! Stop! Dude, that mess freaking hurt it so freaking much, bro. That was so bad. I was like, dude, have you ever gone paint? Dude, yes, you gone paintballing. I don't know why I asked. You
I
have.
went paintballing once, and it was for like an RSP thing, and I was stupid and wore the thinnest jacket that I have with no shirt underneath.
Oh,
I
good
got
luck.
hit with 3 paintballs. I had 3 marks. I have images of it on my phone. When I get the
Yeah.
opportunity, I'll send it to you. But they hit me here, right in the collarbone,
Yeah.
and I got one right in the neck. And I had a welt about yay big on my neck for about a week.
Oh,
And
dude.
no, yeah, that messed me up. I came home and my parents were like, "Is that a hickey?" And I'm like, "Doesn't feel like a
I was
hickey.
gonna say that.
It doesn't feel like a hickey. It feels a lot more painful." So what were you
Dude,
doing in
no way.
RSP?
Nah, dude, no, my family, we go out a lot too. We actually did, it's like we always go every year, we'll go with like our church and we like invite everybody, like, hey, yo, we're going paintballing. So it's pretty cool. It's like a
Sounds
normal
like a lot
thing.
of
But I
fun.
was gonna tell you one story finally just clicked in my head. All right. This was also like high school, middle school, like between. And my cousin, his name is Jerry. I love that guy. He is, yeah, the main reason for all the dumb stuff that I'd be down to do. And so one day it was like my birthday, and there was a bunch of people over. It was like my friends from church, friends from school, family, everybody, pretty much everybody, you're close to. And I remember like I was walking around, and my cousin, he always loved pantsing people. Just
Oh god.
so one day it's my birthday. I think it was a party. I don't know if it was my birthday, but I just remember him pulling my shorts down, and everybody was like, "Ah, he got him!" Starts cracking up. We're Mexican. I'm like, dude, it's hilarious. But I was super mad. I was like, dang it, like you freaking got me, pants me, bro. What the heck,
In front of
Not
all
in
these
front of
people.
everybody. Yeah, not in front of all these people, dude. What's the problem? And like, but obviously, like, I know it's out of fun, so I was like, all right, like, I'm gonna get him back, right? I'm gonna get him back
I'm
later,
gonna
right?
get him back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so then so then like what ends up happening is I remember during the party. So after he had pants me that same day, my dad was like, "Hey, you and your cousin Jerry and your other cousin, like, let's go to Food for Less, or like, I don't know if you know, it's just a market, supermarket,
Mm-hmm.
Walmart, whatever, right?" And I remember telling my cousin, I'm like, we're walking, right? But my cousin was wearing, he was wearing those like, those like really baggy shorts that are like just massively big, like the ones that like gangsters
Yeah.
kind of would like. They would just, what's it called, that they would just like
Sag their pants or.
sag. Thank you. That they would just sag a lot. Yeah, and he was sagging a lot that day. So now I'm like, and I told my cousin, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna pant him in front of the whole store, right?
Oh no.
So we're walking, right? And my cousin totally just like, he's just like walking like he's comfortable. I know. I'm like, he's vulnerable at this moment. And so then I'm like, all right. And I tell my cousin, I pulled down his shorts, bro.
Oh no. You didn't.
Guess what happened?
You didn't. Tell me you didn't. Tell me you're lying and say you didn't. I've had this happen to me when I was in high school and I did not like it. Did the underwear come with it? That smiled.
The combo came out with it, bro. And I'm like, dude. And I remember there was a minute of like, there was a pause where everybody was just looking at me.
Oh no! You traumatized him.
And I was like, I was just looking at his cheeks like, I was like, oh no. And then like, dude, he freaks out. He's like, dude, what the frick, dude? And my dad's cracking up, and dude, you can hear the whole story. Like, the people are all laughing at him. Oh my god, dude!
Cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Bro, it was epic. That's all I can say.
That's probably the best revenge you probably could have ever had.
But see, and this was the thing that I told, and this was the thing that wasn't my fault, was that first, he was sagging. Second, he wasn't wearing boxes.
Oh, no.
Not my fault. Do the Fortnite. Your fault.
Default dance on him. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my God.
So I'm like, don't ever mess with me again. I was like, I'll pants you again, cuz. No, give me a cut.
That's so funny.
It was... I'm like, there's so many dumb moments that happen that I'm like, I would probably redo it, but then at the same time, might be weird.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my god, that's so good. So he quite literally fuck around and found out. That's what he did.
I'm pretty proud of that moment.
If I could get a gold medal in one moment, it would be that right there. That's so funny.
Have you ever randomly been pulled over by like the police?
No, because I actually do not have a license. Actually, I don't have a license. I don't have a car.
No, even like besides license, just besides in general. Have you ever had like a cop just kind of randomly come up to you? Like,
I was a pretty quiet kid, so I'm gonna say no. That's gonna be a no for me.
No, all right, no. It's a funny story because what happened basically was me and my friend for sure. This was like our freshman year, and we're coming out, right? Like I remember we had like our 3 textbooks, right? And I'm just, these books are freaking heavy. You know what I'm not carrying the whole 50 pounds in my back. But I tell my friend, hey, yo, let's get some masala fries, right? And he's like, oh yeah, bro, let's go get some masala fries to celebrate our first day of high school. We're like, yeah. So then we start walking, right? And I remember that day, what we kind of wear. I remember I was like, I didn't have a hat. I had like my glasses. I had like a big backpack, and then like I was just like chilling. But I remember my best friend, he had a hat, red rim and everything, right? I'm giving you the details for a reason, right? So we're walking, we're like, no, about to go eat, right? And then I'll hear, boo! And we're like, what? And we're like, oh, whatever. We just keep walking, right? And the officer's like, hey. And we're like, yeah, officer. Like, wait, is he calling us?
What?
And then he's like, hey, come here. Yeah, and he's like, hey, come here. And then we're like, oh shoot. I remember my friend was like, he was like tripping out. He's like, oh,
tweaking out.
Yeah, he's like scared. Like we like he's just scared. That's all it is, right? And I go up and I'm thinking in my head, what did we do wrong? we didn't even jaywalk. I'm just thinking, I'm thinking of every possible thing in the universe.
Every
Did
possible
I breathe?
situation.
Yeah, I'm like, did I breathe wrong?
I
Am I
must have spit
carrying a
on the
gun?
sidewalk. It must have been a spit on the sidewalk. I'll lick it up. I swear. I swear. Officer, don't arrest me.
I'm like, dude, I'm trying to think, like, dude, I was like, what do I have on me that caused suspicion, right? So then we go up. So then we go up to him, and I know my friend's tripping out, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I don't know what we did. I don't think we did anything wrong. But I was like, good afternoon, officer. I was like, is there anything we can do to help out? And he's like, is that what you doing? And I'm like, we're just walking, like, to go get some food. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because we just ate.
Because
I
I'm
mean, we just
hungry.
came out of school, right? And it's hilarious because I'm like, and he's not being a jerk, but he's just asking, questions. So I'm just like, all right, dude, like, he's asking these questions, and then I tell him, like, I'm like, yeah, we just came out of school, and I show him my school ID. Even though I was like 14, I got no ID. And he's like looking. He grabs my like high school ID of where I went to. It was Lakewood, and he's like, "All right, let me see." And I'm like, "How do you even find me in the system?" Now I was like, "Okay, whatever, right?" So then he grabs it and then he gives it back to me, and it takes like 5 minutes, and he's like, "All right, all right," like, and he believes. And then I don't know if I guess he just believes me or whatever. And so then he's like, because I'm like, I literally told him we just came out of school, like that's why we're carrying all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, all right. Well, he's like, hey, well, the reason I pulled you over was because we got a call. And we're like, oh, yeah? And we're like, okay. And like, what's the call? And he was like, we got a call that, we got two kids walking around the city, and one of them, was one tall guy with glasses walking around with another guy that had a hat that had a red rim, or like, okay.
It's
Sounded pretty
very
close.
vivid.
And then he's like, yeah, they had backpacks. Okay, we have backpacks. Like, okay, I guess we fit that description pretty well, right? And he's like, and well, I guess accordingly they were like breaking into like, what's it called, like into houses or whatever. They're stealing stuff. And we're like, officer, but I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know what you
And
want me to do.
yeah, I'm like, he's like, all right, well, and then he's like, all right, well, don't do anything wrong. And we're like, bro, okay, we
We
get it.
weren't
Like,
doing
we're
anything wrong in the first
hungry.
place.
I'm like, I'm just surprised that there was a full on description of us. I didn't even know that we had twinsies out there. And and then I remember getting the masala fries. Best masala fries. And they're still there to this day. Oh, dude, getting pulled over by the cops is definitely like, let me question my whole life. I've had, I'm always like, when I got pulled over tickets, I'm always just like, oh, what did I do?
What
Do
did
I
I
have
do?
drugs? I'm like, wait, I don't even do drugs.
What's this baggie? Oh, it's a bag of salt. Damn it.
Nah, man.
Damn, I'd be a terrible drug dealer. Man, I suck at this. Might as well
Oh no,
give
you
up
found
now.
my stash of chips.
My Cheetos, man. They're taking my Cheetos.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
dude, yeah. Oh yeah, but dude, I'm totally ready though for. You had one more transition, no?
We have like two more, and then we can do the questions from chat. That's okay. So,
Cool.
like the segment that is take it with a grain of salt, which is basically some little drama spots that we're gonna touch up on. And like I said, it's gonna be take it with a grain of salt. Don't make it seem like we're the ones that's starting the rumors or the drama. That's basically what I mean with that. So, the top one that I saw is, have you ever heard of the Annie Bonelli story?
Repeat it one more time.
The Annie Bonelli story?
Amy Bonelli story. I have not. That sounds
So,
very interesting.
Annie Bonelli is a girl that's on TikTok. She has 4.4 million followers on TikTok, and
Okay.
it's mostly about her scar. So she has a scar on her cheek that goes this way and then goes down. So
Can
there
I can
are
I can I look it up, or
no,
can you
go
tell
on
me how to
ahead.
spell it?
I'm gonna keep going if that's all right. But the scar, it started about 4 months. I think it was either 4 months or last year. I know that's a big jump, but she had a very
Hmm.
like vivid small scar on her cheek that went right across. That went from her right nostril over to her ear. It didn't touch her ear, but it was really close. And
Okay.
people are speculating that the scar is fake because it has gotten worse since she's gotten it. It goes
Oh no.
from a small line on her face that's got red blotches on it to almost what looks like as if I were to write a Sharpie on my face. That's how thick it got. And
Oh.
people are speculating that she's doing all of this for clout and that she's doing all of this for her followers. And
Oh.
I, I don't know. I've seen the videos, I've seen the pictures, and I'm
Hmm.
not sure because I am not a doctor, I am not a nurse, so I have really no say in that.
Yeah, unless you touch it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because she does all sorts of tutorials and stuff about her grabbing makeup and trying to get it off and all this other stuff. But she has a lot of hate comments on her videos these past few weeks talking about the scar. And
Wow.
yeah, she's gotten a lot of hate over it for no reason.
I mean, I feel like it's not even. There's not even really a reason to hate it. I mean, okay, let's say it is fake. Like,
Like, what are you gonna do
I'm like,
about
it's
it?
the. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what is? And then on second, like, what is the scar doing to the world?
I,
Like,
how
I'm
is
like, is
it?
it being racist or hurting me?
I
I'm like, you tell
swear, at the
me.
first 30 minutes of her TikTok, it said the N word, dude. I swear to God.
The scar's talking to me. It, yeah, no, I definitely just think in general people just. I mean, it's more of just hate of them getting that attention, and I
Yeah,
mean, I think that's just TikTok in general. It's like,
it's
dude,
TikTok, and I feel like it's just content creation in general, like YouTube or Twitch or like people that are big like that. They find one little thing, excuse me, and they just poke at it with a needle. That's what I feel like those type of platforms are. That's all that is, in my opinion.
and that's dude. But the thing is that like, okay, like if you don't mind me going off on like TikTok is filled with a bunch of, and I like I said, I mean, they could all also be fake or all also could be real.
Mm-hmm.
I think in general, like, have you seen the ones where like their faces are all very like bubbly up, or like their skin is like, because it's like I don't know what's wrong. There's something wrong with their skin, but their face looks all like weird. It looks gross. Just
Yeah,
being like straight up.
yeah.
And then no, and then have you seen the one where like the baby has like a massive,
Has a
it has like
giant
a
head and it's on
massive
a live
head?
stream
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, dude, like
I don't want to see that. I want
what?
to. I want to watch happy TikToks of dogs falling into buckets. I don't want to see this depressing ass shit. Okay, I don't want it.
But but then like, doesn't it make you question? Okay, like, is this a real thing, or is this like just like you said, content? And that's where I'm thinking like, there's no way that like, I don't know. I don't. There's some cases that I'm like, I don't think some parent would be like, let me record my big forehead kid that looks like he's dying. But at the same time, I honestly don't know. It's just,
Like it's
I'm like,
just.
there's a lot of those on TikTok. There's even like a cult, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I
And I'm
know. I've seen it. I hate those live streams. It's always filled with creepy music and some dude with a skull on his head and
the,
just
the ones that are like standing in the corner over here that are like, Oh, hey, like there's a ghost in your background.
Chat, really quick. I need you to clip this really quick right now before he comes back. Oh my god. This is so creepy. Oh god, it moves! That's a really good animatronic, goddamn.
No, I'm a furry. Didn't you know? um,
Oh
you know, it's just like that. It just to me, it's just like.
oh,
I mean, they
so
get
funny.
paid through it. I can't hate.
Yeah, they
They
do get
honestly get
paid.
money from it, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, wow, it's a trip. Like, it's funny because people think that by trying to hate it, it'll give it less attention. Whereas that's not that's not. If you don't want to give something attention, guess what you do?
Ignore it. Or leave it alone. Don't talk about it.
You're already on the right step to killing it.
You're
So
already doing a good job. Congratulations.
yeah, so that's why I'm just like, wow. I can say, can you shoot me the name or spell out the name because I can't
It's
spell it.
Annie. Then the
Uh-huh.
last name is Boneli.
Oh, okay, there you go. Now I just want to see I want to see the scars real quick. I want to see the. You said she has 4 billion followers, or how many?
She had 14.4 million followers last I heard.
Um, huh. I guess right now I'm not seeing. Hmm, that's weird. It's not
Like I say,
showing up
guys,
to
take
me.
this with a grain of salt. It's if you guys want the full story on it, all these stories that I'm covering right now are all going to be on Dextero. They cover it a lot more in depth than I do.
Yeah, no, that's wild. No, but yeah, I mean, is there another one you got by any chance?
I do have one more. It's
Shoot
about
it, shoot it, shoot it.
it's Aiden Ross wanting to ban hot tub streamers. Yeah.
Interesting.
So a lot of people are speculating he's talking about how he wants hot tub streamers banned, but he's also
Mm-hmm.
producing content that is basically the same thing that he posts on his YouTube channel. One streamer
Yeah,
said he's like Sneeko or Sneaky or whatever his name is.
mm,
Basically, ban this one thing on Twitch so only I can provide it on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch.
that's actually pretty smart. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, like I think it's stupid, but I mean, I guess from a standpoint in a business view, that also makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
No, no, like I like it's stupid at the end of the day. Like, you can't ban a genre unless you ban yourself in it, which
Yeah,
defeats the purpose. But if you really think about it, I mean, I feel like a lot of people put negative attention to things because it attracts. So it's like, I can just say something stupid right now, and people will be like, "No, no, no," and then some people will like, "Yeah, it's not that hard." But obviously, I just that's where I feel like your fan base is like super whack.
yeah. I know what you mean because I'm thinking that too, and I'm just like, wow, he really wants to go that far for him to realize, oh, I need to ban myself as well.
I need to join that.
Yeah, that's something that I need to do. Got to put that on the bucket list.
No, if you don't mind me though, going. I think this is cool. Going. I guess adding more to it. I feel like this also adds like the whole. Like I feel like So yeah, him wanting like to ban hot tub streamers, but it's funny because then like then you get this full on hate from a lot of men that hate on women streamers. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
like
I
seen a
think
lot of that.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it though.
Yes, so I think it's pretty wild. I feel like there's a really really big like, and it's crazy, man. It's honestly pretty like, I think it's really bad like, because, and the reason I'm saying this because it adds to the hot tub streamers where like most of them are girls.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I don't really even look into that category. The only reason I even that category has pulled up, and it's funny, you can like, I couldn't open up my Twitch page. It's just nuts. But I'm like, is because I've seen I've seen just YouTube videos of like, they're banning hot tub streaming, or they're putting it as its own category instead of just chatting, blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, like I'm like, okay, but what's the drama behind it?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh well, there's all these girl streamers, blah blah blah, and it's so weird to me that men hate on it, like
Yeah.
really bad, like she's the reason for this or that, and it's like, bro, you're making it worse.
Yeah,
But
you're
two,
not
like,
helping the situation. You're not making it better in any way.
dude, like it's, bro, I don't know what it is, but men really hate like women streamers, just straight up.
There are certain men
Just,
that are out there that are like, that absolutely hate on women streamers for no reason. And you can sit them down and have a conversation and be like, hey, why do you hate on this person so much? So, no.
no, no. You want to know what the biggest wording is?
What?
Is, oh, the way they get their attention, is just clout and this, and Twitch treats them better. It's like, okay, let's be real. Yeah, Twitch does treat them better.
Uh-huh.
You're right. Twitch does. Twitch does. Honestly, like, they'll totally blind eye the woman streamer. She can be showing her cleavage and all this crazy stuff, even though that's not like according to the rules. But if there's like a fat man that shows up on stream and that's happened, he'll get banned for showing all that. And it's like, whoa. And again, to see, I'm not gonna hate on that. I'm not, because to me at the end of it, like, what good is it to hate on that stuff when you're not even like coming up with this approach right? Yes, okay, fine. The woman is getting more attention, but why are you gonna take it to them when they haven't even done anything to you? You're just mad because they're getting money and clout for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, dude, you find your own way of content. That's their way of doing stuff. I mean, I promise you that's not something that you're gonna enjoy forever. I don't even know why you want to even get near there, but
Yeah.
it's like, it just makes no. It's just crazy, and I think men just get really upset. And I think the men that hate the most are the ones that are the most obsessive over that stream.
Oh
Streamer,
God, yes.
whoever it is, it's straight up, because they get hurt. They're like, oh, she did this. No way. And it's like, bro.
Time to post it on Twitter.
Yeah, dude. And my thing to men, like, just in general, any men out there, like, bro, if you ever want to help a woman out, it's not by you hating them. It's by you showing that example of, like, you giving them the confidence in their own. If they want to do that thing, let them do their own thing. Who are you? Why do you think you're right? That's their way of making money. If that's what works for them, that works for them. But you shouldn't be the one to be telling them to do anything. So it's just sad, because to me, like, I see a lot of men, and it's actually kind of funny, because I think it kind of happened to me today. Like, again, no names, but someone was texting me about them talking to some other person, and it's like, and they were like, was this wrong? And I'm like, dude, yeah, I was wrong. Like, you're talking to them rudely, and then on top of that, like, you don't treat them with respect. What do you expect, bro?
Yeah, what do you expect if you treat certain and or a lot of women with disrespect. Like, you're gonna get some backlash and you're not gonna like it.
Dude, it's wild, bro. Like, men are super like.
It's
blind
gonna
about
add
that,
to your
and I feel
character,
bad.
and that's a characteristic that not very many people like. Not very many people want to have you around because of that.
Dude, it's wild, bro. And I don't know if you heard about the whole deep fake with the Atriarch.
I have heard of that. A friend of mine told me about it before I got started today.
Dude, I saw it. The reason it just came up in my head right now is because someone on Discord was like, "Hey, can you guys go over that?" And I was like, "I'm like, I'll see if we get there." And I guess it just I don't know if you want to get there or if you want to keep
No,
it. I'm putting down the plate.
I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
go
did you see any of like the videos or did you just hear like the conversation?
All I heard about was that Atriarch had some, yeah, had the deep fake going. That's about all that I heard, and that's about as far as I got.
Dude, yeah, I same. Like I'm basically at the same level. All I saw was conversation that there was, you know, nudity of streamers that obviously they weren't. That wasn't actually them, but like that is wild to hear the amount of hate all of them have gotten, bro, from something fake, bro. And for
Yeah.
and that just goes to show you that like men get very obsessive, dude. Like it's scary. Like, bro,
It's
you haven't even met the person. They're on screen. It's not real. Like, bro, touch some grass respectfully. You have to, bro.
do something that isn't sit in front of a screen for a certain amount of hours. Go out, do something. Go hang out with friends, because clearly the internet lifestyle is not for you, as if right now. Come
Dude,
back when you got some manners.
I'm just scared that the fact that you can just deep fake something,
Mm-hmm.
that is wild, bro. And for people to actually be like, dude, they thought it was real, like, and then for someone to organize that whole thing, and I actually don't even know the reason why he did that. I don't know if you got any information on why he did that.
I did not see anything on it. Not that I'm aware
Yeah,
of. I'm pretty sure I'll look back at it and watch the whole story unfold. And if I do find something different, I'll definitely message you about it. And you can tell, like, your side of it if you would like.
dude, yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And I mean, I just think it's, I mean, and it's cool and it's crazy because I've told chat this and I tell everyone this, like, whenever you see drama or somebody you know in something that's a big deal, and I always say this, do not, and I mean do not, just judge right away. Actually investigate into the situation and actually take both sides or or look for the full story. Don't just hear one bit and be like, oh, like if you don't understand the whole situation, don't even say nothing yet until you figure it out.
It's funny you say that because that's exactly what happened. I'm assuming you heard about the whole Mini Lad situation, the whole Mini Lad story that's going
Oh
on.
yes, bro. Oh my god.
So when I
saw the
heard
YouTube
about
video
it,
of
I think I had just gotten out of basic training or AIT, and my friends were like, dude, can you believe this from Mini Lad? I'm like, dude, that stuff's got to be fake. Like, some girl's trying to do it for clout. And then I stopped
Yeah.
myself. I'm like, why am I automatically trying to defend him? Let me go check out the story. And there's a pretty valid story out there that I heard not only from about Mini Lad, from Terrorizer, from all sorts of other different types of people, and I'm just like, oh my god, I think he did do it, and that's extremely messed up because he was the one person in the group that I actually liked, which really disappointed me.
that sucks. And that's probably like the most discouraging thing is when you find out like, no, not my streamer,
Yeah,
not my
like, no,
YouTuber.
not the person that I was looking up to, the one person that... Oh my god. Excuse me, chat,
No, you're
everybody
good,
else, I'm
man.
fucking sick as hell. Coming on to
Dude,
stream and
everyone's getting
everything.
sick. Hey, you know what's been helping me to not get sick, and I've been like preaching this everywhere.
What?
Cold showers, bro.
Cold showers? I might actually take a shower
Like even
before
if
I go
it's
to bed
freezing,
tonight.
like I've been taking cold showers almost like most of the time, and I have not gotten sick. And usually during this time I get sick, and it's safe, and I feel fine. Like I'll get a dry or itchy throat, but nothing more than that though. But sorry,
No,
You're
you're
saying
good. Because we were talking about... Oh god.
Mini lad.
Mini Lad, the whole
Yeah.
Mini Lad situation. But yeah, that stuff absolutely broke my heart. The moment I heard about it, like one of my favorite funny moments YouTubers. It hurt when he said he was no longer doing gaming videos, which was fine, but
Yeah.
the fact that I heard that and he's still doing it just sucked. And the way he would react to people mentioning it in his chat during the meme streams and like people that made memes on it, the way he reacted was not the way that I would expect him to react, if that makes sense.
Nope. That makes
'Cause
sense.
it makes
Yeah,
it
no,
very clear that he's trying to hide something, and that really sucks.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Get away from the computer. If you notice you're on it a little too long, you get caught up in it.
Mm.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. But no, man, it's good stuff here, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
I love our conversations.
Yeah, this is super chill, and I absolutely love this. So, do you want to get into the last segment, or do we want to go straight to stream questions? Because I don't even know. What time is it? For me,
What
at
was the
least.
last one?
The last one was kind of like personal questions. And it
Like
would...
between you and me, kind of thing. Like,
between you and me, yeah. So, like, we can go,
I
like, a
feel
little
like-
bit back and forth.
yeah, I mean, I feel like. I mean, I guess I would ask you, like, pretty much, like, almost not all of them, but like, what made you want to stream and do the podcast?
What made me want to stream and do the podcast, I actually mentioned this in the first episode. When I was doing my military stuff, they would send us off for 2 weeks, and they would pay us a good amount of money for being out there. Basically, they paid us $100 for 2 weeks. Like, add that on, so we would get about $1,400. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my bed, nothing for me to eat, nothing for me to do. I didn't want to buy a game or anything. And I jumped into 3 different people's chats. I gifted them each 25 subs because they were small streamers. And there's 3 of them that I can remember off the top of my head that I still talk to, that I still hang out with.
That's dope.
And the first day, there wasn't anything really too memorable happening, so I fell asleep, woke up, did my stuff for the military, and I came back, and I logged into a very in particular streamer. His name is Guardian Angel. He's my boy. He was actually the first person I asked to be on the podcast before it was even a thing.
That's dope.
And I still check up on him. He was streaming earlier today, and I talked to him for a bit, and we're actually going to be doing a episode this coming up Monday, actually. So
Nice.
I can't wait for that. And I gifted him 25 out of nowhere, and he was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
why don't you stream? Why don't you do this and that?" And my initial plan was to not even start streaming. I was just going to be the person that jumped into chat, gifted subs, and hung out. Be the one person in their chat that I talked to, that we would interact back and forth. And
Mr. Beast.
it's funny you say that. 2 people that I gifted subs to, they called me Mr. Beast Jr. for about a month. And
Yeah.
I do feel bad right now because they haven't streamed in a while, and when they do stream, I'm not able to hop in due
Yeah.
to work or other stream stuff. But that's mostly the reason I started streaming. It's just because it was somebody basically told me to do it. Say, hey, you should stream, and I'm like, I don't know. He was like, oh, come on. I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was.
No, that's dope. And okay, I got another good one now. So I guess
boy.
going off like, what is like, and so what does your girlfriend think of like when you do like the streaming
So
stuff?
she, when I first started doing it, she was super supportive about it. And on an occasion, so one little personal thing that I am going to say is that before I got a face cam, she, to say the least, she's very comfortable with her body, especially alone in the house, if that makes sense. And so I have a curtain on the left side, and I've got a door back there. So I have to close the door because she walks around the house. Comfortable. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. She walks around the house extremely comfortable. And I have to, before I start streaming, I have to check on her every so often to make sure she's got clothes on before she goes out and walks away and goes do something. But she's super... If the thing is, I'm not lying at all. She does it all the fucking time. And she's like, man, I really got to keep an eye on, make sure you don't have your face cam on or nothing. And she's laughing, but I'm like, one wrong move and you're going to get me banned, okay? You're going to get me in trouble.
Oh my god! I mean, the only thing I could tell you is if you can have your cam facing towards looks like your window. I'm not sure, but I mean,
towards the window, because the only window that I have is that one right there. I'll just knock something off my desk. Whatever it was, it clearly wasn't important. Anyway, but that's the only one that's over there. And I don't have like anywhere to set it up. You're scared for me. I'm scared, okay? I gotta be self-conscious. It feels like I'm walking around the house with a ghost in it, okay? I'm terrified. Say, hey babe, am I allowed to stream? Yeah, sure. I have to go in there to make sure she's fully clothed to make sure I can do it.
Babe, before you step out... The camera's on.
I need to make a sign.
Or just have like a keyword.
Oh my
cam. Just be like cam. Just say.
I'll say pineapple juice. She'll know.
Something like, oh, that's a sign.
Hiya.
That's funny. It's funny you brought that up because a long time ago when I was telling you about like Tetris streams, there was a stream one time. I didn't realize it. But my one of my other best friends, his name was Ozzie, right? I was streaming and I had a face cam on while playing Tetris, right? And usually when I had people come over, they all sleep over in my room, right?
Yeah.
And so one day, that night, as I'm playing Tetris, I'm like zoned into the game, right? And there were maybe like 2 people just watching at the time, and they were like. And as I'm like playing still, right? I think I ended up losing the game, and then all I hear is Chad like, Ozzie, he's taking off we could see him, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about, right? And I turn around, and I'm like, dude, I'm streaming. He's like, oh, my bad, dog, I forgot, my bad. He just spent like taking off his shorts on stream, and I'm like, bro. I'm like, you gotta give me a heads up.
You gotta say something. What's our safe word? We discussed the safe word. It's papaya, okay?
I think I have the clip, but it might be in another drawer. But I'm just like,
oh my god.
I'm just like, dude, imagine just.
I think, bro, it's.
Oh my god. Go for it.
It's probably the worst fear that you can have as a streamer and having a face cam is doing something on camera without you realizing it. Because before, I'm not gonna lie to you, before I had a camera, I would pick my nose all the time on stream. And now I have to be like, oh, face cam etiquette. I can't do that. If I want to do that, I need to go into the kitchen or something. Or the girlfriend pops into the
way, like,
I can't go that far. Desk is too damn big. Oh my god, that's funny.
No, dude, dude. No, I had genuinely, I accidentally did a sleep stream without me knowing that I even streamed it, and I have that video for sure.
Oh boy.
I totally thought I turned off my stream because I think I had raided somebody, bro. Okay, sorry, I did look at chat, and somebody was on a Tay. He's saying I was there, so this is a thing. and he's just, and dude, I genuinely thought I turned off stream, and bro, I was scared for my life. That, like, I remember waking up next morning, right, and I'm like, why is my computer on? Right, and I'm like, and I can see like the windows, and I'm like, oh, maybe that was like a VOD of my stream last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I move my hand, right, and the monitor's moving, and I'm like tripping out super hard. I'm like, and then I look down at this monitor, the one, my main one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, and I look at the left one, and then I see still streaming. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, dude, I freaked out so hard because, dude, I thought, like, when I sleep, I sometimes will sleep just naked. At least down there, you know, just, I like, man, a man. I sometimes will do that. I haven't done that in the longest time, but
Yeah.
I was so afraid that I'm like, dude, I hope they didn't see nothing. I'm like, it's traumatizing.
It's
dog.
terrifying.
Like, because like one wrong move and dude,
you lose everything that you worked so hard for in a matter of seconds.
It's just, to me, it's not even that. It's just like it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Oh,
That's
god,
my thing. Like,
it's
dude,
yeah,
like,
it's also extremely embarrassing.
Like, bro, like I'm not Tiny Ozzie no more, guys. So now to this day, like, I literally make sure I look at OBS and I'm like,
that junk don't say it's streaming, right?
Yeah, I'm like, you're not on, are you? And I'll even sometimes like flip my camera up just in case. I don't know,
just to be safe.
Oh, you can, dude. You never know. You can accidentally just hit a button that just turns everything on. Your butt crack goes out. Shut up.
So I was messing with some stuff. I don't use this computer for like any kind of streaming at all. I use it to monitor my stream while I'm playing on Xbox, so on and so forth. Well, apparently I hit a button while I was trying to set up an ad for one of the podcast episodes. I was going to do a W sponsor ad. And my girlfriend comes home and she's like, you know you were streaming, right? I'm like, wait, what? I look back at the VOD, it's me doing all these embarrassing takes of trying to do like the W ad, and I'm just like, and I'm pretty sure there's a clip of me in Valorant in there as well, of me just trying to learn how to use mouse and key, and it was just, I was so embarrassed.
Dude,
it was bad.
Oh my god, dude.
OBS is tricky, alright? It is tricky.
And all I know is if you get banned one of these days, I'll know why.
Thanks. I'm so glad you have high hopes for me. Appreciate it.
I got you, bro. I'll be like, chat, he's good. You guys don't even.
It's all good.
I already know what it is. Don't even.
I already know what happened.
all I'm gonna tell you guys is he's okay.
He's good now.
He's chilling. He's good. All right.
Oh god, I should probably start doing that.
Dude, drink 1 gallon of water a day, and you'll be good.
I just need to hide my stickers, and we're all good.
Oh man.
Just to say the least, I have some quite inappropriate stickers on my water bottle. Hence why I do hydrates off of stream.
I can barely see it. So
It's all good. It's all good. But is there any other questions that you had for me? For now?
let me see. Give me a little. I feel like there might be one good question. Hey, when are you gonna come back to Apex?
When I become partner. Alright? How about that? It's gonna be a while before I come back to Apex. I want to give it a little bit of breathing room, alright? I want to venture out to other games for now. Go back to some old games.
Fun.
Rainbow Six, I might get back into that. That was fun for a while.
Rainbow Six, ew.
Yeah, it was the second multiplayer online game that I played. And that's where I met two of my best friends. Two of my online best friends.
That's cool. That's cool.
First thing he said to me is, you stole my freaking kill. That's what he told me the moment I got into the chat.
I would have been like, should have finished it.
Should have finished it. And then not 5 seconds later threw a C4 at his feet and blew himself up. Funniest moment that I probably had in a while.
That sounds epic, man.
It was great. It was awesome. I'm glad I met those guys. I'm glad I joined the party when I did. Whatever that was, it's gone.
Box down. It just flipped over. That was it.
Oh, something. I felt like a can fell over. It's my sun kiss. No, it's on the carpet. Oh no. Oh no, bro. Okay, but trying to think here, because I'm trying to come up with some questions myself, because you did kind of go pretty in-depth. And there are also going to be some questions that I'm going to ask you. If they are too personal, just say that's too personal of a question. I don't feel like sharing. That was one thing I also forgot to say.
No. I think I have a clue what you told me. Like, I get you.
So one thing I am kind of curious about. So, did you? This is going to be a religion question, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries.
So did your parents force you into religion, or did you just get into religion by yourself?
That's an amazing question. so here's the thing. This is a really cool part. So yes, I like partially grew up in the church. So I was like maybe 9 that I actually started going to church. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing was that, like, even as of now, which is what I practice with everyone, it's like I can invite you to church. I can tell you, hey, you want to come to church, but I will not force you to do anything. I will not force you to be like, dude, you can't even do. Like, and that was the cool thing with my parents was like, hey, yes, you're a kid, like, go to church with us, because it's, that's the thing. Like, when you're a parent, and you're taking care of your kids, like, yeah. You bring them wherever you go,
Yeah.
But it wasn't like them forcing me. It was just like them showing me, like, hey, like, look, you can make some friends here. This is all up to you.
So they didn't bash you with it. They kind of just introduced you to it.
Exactly. And so it was just like, this is church. Now it's up to you if you want to get deeper into it. But if not, like, you keep coming to church with us until, either you move out or you're 18 or something, Because for now you're with us. And I kind of, I understand it. It's like the same way almost for school. Obviously it's religious, but like I said, they weren't forcing me. But here's the kicker, which was really cool. So we have a thing at church where we call it like studying the Bible. So it's like, how like, let's say, okay, let's just say you want to become a game designer, right?
Yeah.
And so in the same way, like what we do for the Bible is like, hey, like if you want to get into this, like talk to us, and we'll help you to want to learn more. But you want to have this. We're not gonna force you. We're not gonna, you know,
We're not gonna hand it to
not,
you. You gotta work
yeah,
for it.
you gotta want Jesus. You gotta want it. Like that's we're not here to hold your hand. I mean, we're here to like help you, but we're not here to force you into that. And for me, I fell in love with it because I saw my friends change. I saw how they were affected. Like I saw how they went from this to becoming like a greater person, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want that. Like, and not only that, but I can feel that there's love there, like from people,
Yeah.
and I can feel that there's something different. Like, there's something different here. Like, you can go out to school and anywhere else, but there's not people that I really like. And I'm not saying this about everyone. All places are different, but most of the time, like, if you went to high school and stuff, people aren't really like caring for you. If we're being real, like someone's not gonna just come up to you, right, Kay, and be like, "Hey, like, how you doing?" or something. It's more like you pushing yourself out there, like you kind of trying to look for that friendship, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like most of the time. But like the cool thing at church was that like I would have like someone would come up to me, and then the cool thing is like they would listen, and then they were like, "Oh, dude, I'm into that too. I'm into anime. I'm into like video games," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, like that's really cool,"
It's
And
cool
like
to
and
find
they
something
care.
that you have in common with, especially in a small place like church, like school, like military training, like all this other stuff.
Exactly, and so sorry, and I probably made that answer way too long, but
No,
basically,
you're all right.
yeah.
That was a pretty loaded question, so I wanted to get it up and down and on the plate, basically.
Yeah. No, no, and that's why I'm saying like that's the cool thing is like no, I wasn't forced into it or anything. I just saw how they lived, and then I saw like the blessings, or I saw how like wow, like I want this for my life. And what I mean by that is like seeing families or seeing parents together and not divorced, not seeing them separate, or them actually trying to figure out their relationship or trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing is like it's not about let's just quit and forget everybody. It's more like, well, let's see what can we do to fix it, or what can we do to help it. You know, and so that's why for me, when I saw all that, I was like, I want that in my life, and I want to practice that. And the cool thing is, ever since I started doing that, I meet all you guys because personally, me, I would not. I don't think I'd be here right now if I wasn't doing what I did.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. I
So,
understand that
so yeah,
fully.
so yeah, that's totally one thing. But yeah, that's pretty much my answer.
Alright. Well, one other question that I'm kind of going to kind of get into.
Mm-hmm.
If you could talk to your past self when you first started doing Twitch stuff, what would be the one thing that you would change, in your opinion?
Oh, that's
Another good ass question.
yeah, no, I would tell him straight up, like, I would tell him straight up, get into computers, like, learn, like, get into the basics of computers. That'd be it, honestly. Because from there, that's how you would understand. I feel like I have some pretty, like, decent. I have like not like whack equipment, but I have equipment that like isn't the best, but because I've learned from studying and doing cybersecurity and other stuff that I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, like I optimize it. Like someone was telling me like my camera, they're like, is it like a DSLR or something? And I'm like, dude, no, it's a $50 camera mic. I just changed some lighting and some other little stuff, and that was it. Made it work.
If it works, it works.
That's what I would tell past me is like, first, understand your equipment, understand the PC, how it really works, so then you can invest into the right stuff. That's
Yeah. Well, that's really all I had for personal questions. Is there any like questions from chat that they have to ask either one of us, or that you know of?
Chat. Well, let me see. Now that I'm looking finally, I know that they have all been kind of just like chatting it up, because I haven't been reading it or answering their questions. Just
Yeah.
But I think now, like, if there is anybody there right now, guys, if you guys have some questions you want to shoot to KO or me, please feel free to shoot whatever that question is, and don't. And again, if there is a question that we don't answer or we do answer, don't take it personal. Maybe it might be too personal, or we, it could be other reasons, but we will do our best to answer it.
Yeah.
So I will give them a minute
Yeah.
or two if there is people actually wanting to ask a question. I guess my question to you would be like, okay. Do you think relationships can happen over Twitch between
relationships?
a mod? Yeah, like between a mod and a streamer, or a viewer and a streamer.
Like, as in friendship or something
Boyfriend,
more?
girlfriend. Boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, no, you could definitely be a friend, but I'm talking about more than that.
Oh, that's tough, because that's actually a really good question. Because when me and, I'm tired of saying girlfriend, me and Alexis got together, she would pop into stream every so often, tell me to hydrate. She's in the prior episode. If you guys want to go watch the first episode, listen to the first episode, go do that. Please do. It's mostly all about me and her. So if you guys want to hear more in-depth stuff, go on ahead and go ahead there. But she...
Shoot the link.
She made my first emote, so I gave her the artist badge while we were together, and because she started showing up and being more responsible, I was like, I just gave her the moderator because I could trust her. I gave her the moderator badge because I could trust her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't even know.
So you met your girlfriend over Twitch, or?
I met my girlfriend over like real life experience. I met her through one of my old jobs. She was actually my boss for a while. She was the assistant manager, and she was making about $2 to $3 more than I was. So she was the money. She was the breadwinner in the house. And not only that, she helped. She helped a lot around the apartment, because at the time I had 2 jobs. The first job that I had was, of course, Papa John's, and the second one was Culver's. That was like an hour walk, and they were kind of screwing me out my hours. They would blank out my schedule.
Oh, heck no.
And because of that, I just walked out on them and started working at Papa John's, and next thing I knew, me and Alexis clicked. Like, I couldn't... Like, she could probably give a more in-depth, like, situation that it could have gone down, but it was amazing. Her coming into my life was probably the best thing that happened to me in my entire life right now. Because if not, I would be that guy outside of Walmart with a sign saying I had no house. So yeah.
I am very interested into the day of seeing her. She sounds amazing.
She is amazing. She's awesome.
That's really cool. So then going off then, so you're saying, so you would get closer to her then over the streams?
Yes.
Okay, so Okay, so that's why I get what you're saying now. Like, why you're like, yes and no. I get
Yeah,
you. I get you.
it's odd. That's a really good fucking question that I don't have like a specific answer for,
Yeah. No,
because
it it
are
is
some
crazy.
there are some people out there that are like, "Oh, my moderator's my soulmate." And and for some people it works out. Yeah, it does work out. But for other
Yeah.
people it turns into a 58-year-old dude that's the Discord kitten.
Catfish.
Yeah, catfishing people in stream.
Discord kitten.
Yeah. Exactly what I
Oh
was thinking.
man.
Oh, that's funny.
Dude. Dude, that's gotta be a trip. It's crazy because I feel like I've caught on. I don't know if I caught on to the signs, but it's actually funny because this year is like my year of like I've actually been meeting some of my viewers, which I'm not gonna call them viewers now, I guess, because they're my friends. They're actually very cool. Um, Now one of them, I don't know if he's still here in chat. His name is Galactic, and so it was cool because I actually drove and I picked him up to meet him, and it was dope. It was really dope. Um, and like we popped off, and like now we're homies. So I think I'm actually been doing that. I want to do that more recently, obviously in a more careful way because you never know if one of them's
Because you never
crazy.
know. Yeah.
Um, but that's why most of the time when I do usually hang out with them, what I do this is my plan. If I like hang out with somebody I'm meeting over online, is I'll be like, okay, let me meet them in a public area, right? And then like we can, and this is if they drive or not, you know.
Yeah.
But if they drive, then cool. Like, hey, let's meet halfway here at this spot and location, and then from there, like we can hang out,
Yeah.
And it's funny because I actually most of the time I'm actually the one that I'm the most afraid to like scare somebody. I
Yeah.
don't want to like I tell people right away like, hey, like I'm letting you know like I'm doing this and that and this. If you just let me know if the minute you don't feel comfortable, you tell me and I will back away or step away or get out of your life or something. Because
Yeah.
I'm like because people trip out a lot. People can get scared or get into anxiety. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, I want to make sure you're good, bro.
Ooh,
So I'm like, I don't know if you. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I do have one question. How does it feel seeing and meeting me and interacting with me for the first time? What what did you expect when you first saw my name in chat?
Oh, okay, in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would say it was to me. It was just like, and I mean, I feel like in general, it's with anybody that at least I first see them come into chat where it's like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, thanks for tuning in the stream. I hope
Yeah.
you can hang out more. That was I didn't really think of it. I'm not like a person who overthinks like every little thing that people say. I'm more just like, hey, if you're here to vibe and we both like Apex or whatever, we like video games and you're respectful, we chill, dog. That's it. I'm like, you're my homie, and as long as you respect those rules, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, there is some questions. I don't know if you mind me reading them.
Oh, yeah, going ahead. I'm ready.
Okay. So one of the questions was, "What was your first FPS?" I think you might have said it earlier, no?
My first FPS, does it offline, I'd say Halo 3. Online, I think it was Call of Duty World at War, actually, when
Ooh.
COD Zombies got introduced. And
Oh.
this was also like around the time I think Black Ops 2 got introduced. So I was
Yeah.
very much behind.
Dang. I
Hmm.
mean, that's cool. That your offline was Halo and your online was. Call of Duty. Dude, World at War was such a good game.
It was such a good game, and the multiplayer is just unplayable. It's so
It,
bad, dude.
we love hackers, don't we?
It took
Hacker
me
man.
3 games to realize, oh, there's a lot of people that hack and mod in these lobbies, and the game is
Like,
no longer fun.
it's just to me. I'm just curious. Like, how do you even have that time to just? Isn't that boring? Like,
It doesn't bore you.
yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. You hacked it, but like, oh, like 10 people in here, and then you're the only one that's doing all that, and then okay, cool. You got a couple of kills, and what do you do?
Yeah.
Just like, bro. I'm like, respectfully, you got a lot of time on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely think you can hack into this. You can totally look into something else. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another one. Chat asked was dogs
Dogs,
or cats.
we actually have cats currently in the house. We have 3 of them. We have the oldest, Noob. I named each of them after video game characters, as you can tell. So we have
Noob is
Noob
Mortal
Zero,
Kombat, right?
Noob Zero, and Crypto. So,
Is Noob and Zero Mortal Kombat?
yep,
Oh
Noob
no, Mega
Cy-
Man.
It's Noob Saibot and it's supposed to be Sub Zero, but we just call him Zero for short. They're the
And then
they're the oldest and the second oldest, and then there's Crypto, who's technically our youngest, even though I'm basing it off of when they came into the house, when they came into like the apartment that we were living in.
yeah,
Like 2 of their birthdays are the same, but I'm counting more or less the moment they came into our lives when their birthdays were. They're all probably all in the bedroom, cuddling mom because she's asleep right now. Yeah, you
that's
say
cool.
aw. Before we even started this, I caught one of them trying to eat the plastic off the new LEDs that I just put up.
No.
Yeah. Had to chase him out with it.
Stupid cat.
No, what I like to do is I grab the thing that they like to eat and swing it at them like this. They freak out. They fucking take off.
He's coming.
That's what I kind of like more about cats is they're more hypersensitive, and when you do like certain things, they react in a funny way.
Oh, it's true. They like they just trip out. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Like, what just happened? You were fine 5 minutes ago. Now you're doing backflips off the damn dryer.
Exactly.
What is going through your head? But,
All right. Another one is I like this question versus by. So if at all, what kind of traits do you think video games have taught you, and do you think it has made a change in your life for the better?
I know
Maybe
that
if you want me
there's
to repeat that.
I know that there's one bad trait that I gained from video games. Well, there's 2 kind of bad ones. I actually developed because my dad has really bad road rage, and so does my grandpa. Grandpa's bad because he says no words that I'm not allowed to say on stream. My dad, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
Oh my god.
I'm terrified to be in the same car as him, but he drinks now, and I don't know what he's doing right now. Probably passed out on the couch. But my dad has road rage as well. It's not as bad as my grandpa. It's pretty mild, but I developed my game rage from video games, and I'm not proud of that. I wish I didn't have game rage. If I could take one thing out, it would probably be game rage. And the other thing that I think, because when I played in Overwatch, I solo queued. Rainbow Six, I solo queued for the longest time, and I solo queued for the longest time in Apex. So,
Pain.
so the reason behind that is because I was afraid to interact with other people because there's that COD side of people that I don't want to interact with, or at least I try to avoid.
Yeah.
But when I do interact with people, it's like some of them are super chill, super like the friends that I made. Like,
Yeah.
I instantly clicked with them. I haven't moved on from another group since.
Mm.
I do kind of feel like I need to go out and interact with more people when it comes to gaming. I feel like I'm going to be that way with PC when I do kind of get my own PC set up. So,
You will, bro. Trust. You will. It, you learn a lot of new things when you eventually step out of your friend group. Now, I'm not saying ditch your friend group, no,
when you step
but
out of
you
your
will.
comfort zone.
Exactly. And the minute you do that, you learn a lot. And I feel like I have been in a lot of different friend groups. And even then, like, I have my own. But I think I have learned so much from it, from boys and girls, that I'm like, wow, okay, like, cool. Now I know how to talk to gamers, or now I know. Pretty funny thing. I won't go too into details or names.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I definitely have felt like since I've taken kind of a step back and like focused on some personal things going on in my life, or try to get better at as a man,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's been really cool that I've been able to talk to men and women online. And the cool thing is, I'm not gay, but I have talked to like a lot of women, and it's pretty cool. Like that, I've made a lot of friends, and it's funny because a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to like date and stuff, and honestly, like my thing too is if like if you want like a gamer girlfriend or something, like being real, like be their friend.
Yeah.
Like it's a serious serious thing, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I feel like I kind of understand now. Now, yes, I've never been in a relationship, but I definitely kind of understand that. Like, wow, like okay, like this girl's just looking for a friend, bro. And now, if you like her, cool. If you don't, like, dude, like everyone here can. And I mean, I know you're dating. This is just something I guess I would like to get out there from my boys. Um, and even ladies, if they want to learn something from it too, the men, ladies, whoever's here. Um, I'm like, if you guys want to have friends of like the opposite sex of each other, um, honestly, your first step is like be their friend, like straight up, like. And what I mean by being a friend is like talk to them. Just don't be simpy. Don't and what I mean or don't be like desperate. Just be like, hey, dude, like, what's up? Like, oh, I see you're into this game, and like, be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're goofy or little, like, that's cool. Don't change who you are, but definitely be aware of what you say and like pay attention to the other person. Like, oh, hey, like, oh, this person likes this. Oh, that's cool. Or hey, this person likes this game, or this person oh doesn't really. And another thing is, I feel like guys get too comfortable with how they joke when they talk to women online. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What I mean by that is that like the guys try to talk to the girls as their guys also, if you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying. And that and I'm gonna tell you guys now, if you talk to a girl and like and you don't put her at the guy standards, but obviously you're careful and you pay attention, I promise you, bro, she's gonna see something different. I promise. I'm trying to hook y'all up. I'm trying to help you out on how understanding on how that works online because I feel like this is gonna become a normal thing, bro. I'm like Discord's great. I'm like Discord's gonna be like our next like our next, not like, I don't want it to be Tinder, but I also want it to be like, yo, dude, like,
It'll be the next
you
pathway
can,
to something that we will go forward from.
yeah, like you can make great friendships, honestly, but you just need to pay attention and be careful
Yeah.
and don't treat the other person. Pay attention to see how comfortable they are and they're joking, and then if you see it, then you match that level straight up my brother from another mother. Yeah,
But yeah, it's
I love talking about I love talking about it because I've just had people come into chat and like, what do you do, blah blah blah, and I'm like, bro, just be a friend.
don't try for
But I
anything
like her.
else right off the spot.
Yeah, yeah, and but I like her. And I'm like, okay, cool, you like her, but you barely know her, and then you don't even know how she looks in person or seen her. Bro, chill, just chill. Oh, dude, did I even answer that question? I don't even think I answered that. So you said for you it was like you felt like you developed gamer rage, but was there a good thing you developed though?
Good thing that I developed. I feel like I've kind of developed a filter in a way, more of a filter than what I had when I was in middle school, in high school, because everybody, there were two sides of me that people always saw. The one side was the the douchebag that called it as it is, that
Yeah.
called out whatever it was that I didn't like about somebody, or I was a super chill, laid back guy that talked to everybody. Like, it, for gaming, it helped develop that. It just helped me create
Oh,
the chill vibe and atmosphere that you're kind of seeing right here.
that's cool. Alright. I think I think for me, I think it would be. I'm real. What kind of traits do you think it is? I definitely think watching video games has helped me develop communication. Oh,
That's a good one.
dude,
Communication is
dude, that,
especially hard, especially in the world that we live in now.
dude. Yes, I would definitely say video games has helped me develop communication because obviously I want to win, and the only way you're gonna win is communicating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if I did not, I'm like, I think it's funny because I think Apex is a great example of. I feel like I've developed some pretty great communication skills off of it, and what I mean by communication skills is like telling people the details. Like if I'm like working or something, I'm like, hey, boss man, like, do you want me to move this program or do you want me to type this out or like any little thing, and then they'll be like, oh, hey, that was actually a good question. Yeah, please move that thing. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, wow. Imagine if I wouldn't have said nothing and didn't give that detail, then I'd be like, oh yeah, it ain't gonna work. I think I'm a. Is it called a team player? Or like like a team person. Like I love working in teams. If we can work as a team and
Yeah,
get the
that would
job
be
done,
a team player. Yeah, you got it.
so I'm like that. That's the one trait I would say video games has definitely helped me on is communication.
That's, like I was saying, that's huge, especially for the world that we live in right now. Everything is behind a screen of some kind. Even though, like, we're talking, like, through our face cams and stuff, it still feels like you and me are kind of having a nice, in depth conversation just back and forth. It,
Yes,
it
sir.
feels nice to have, like, once in a while.
Chat was asking how tall you are.
How tall am I? I am 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'1", I think, actually. I'm 6'1", 124 pounds.
Ooh.
There you go. I threw a little bonus in there for you guys. You know the stick bug in Bug's Life? Yeah, that was me. All right. They didn't use CGI. That was all me.
They casted you for the movie. They said, "Come here."
Put some green screen on you. Put some big white balls for no reason on you. There you go.
Oh my god,
Stick
dude,
bug.
that movie! Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
It's been so long since I've seen it. I think honestly, yeah, I think that honestly, I'm like it's 1:40. I don't know what time is it for you.
It's like 3 something.
Oh my! How are you not tired, bro?
Oh, I'm getting there. Believe me, it's because of this awesome W. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm like I have to wake up at 7, which is not fun.
I have tomorrow off, and then I'm doing drill stuff. Saturday, Sunday, and then I have to come back on Monday and do 2 more episodes. So this is going to be the February episode. Tomorrow's going to be the March episode. So we've got a lot of stuff planned. We got quite a lot of stuff planned, and then I'm just going to take the rest of next week off and sit down and do nothing. It's going to feel amazing.
Chaz said, "Will you play Apex with Ozzie?"
I'm on console, and I feel like I would get ripped through on PC lobbies, especially for how long I haven't touched it.
Dude, okay, I have a question about that, I guess. My friends, which I feel betrayed, like, they were playing with me the other day, but they're both a console. And I'm like, guys, you guys can literally beam through these lives. They're like, no, we get shredded in your PC. I'm like, how do you guys get shredded? It makes no sense to me. I'm like, what exactly is the PC lobby shredding about you?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'm not, because I want to say it's not a pride thing, but I will jump into a lobby and I will drop about 5 kills, and then I join one of my friends' lobbies, and I'll do maybe 132 damage, and my buddy's got like 5 kills, 1.2k damage. So it kind of feels like a pride thing in its own way.
Yeah.
It feels like when you're in a PC lobby, it feels like you're not playing at your best. For me, at least. It feels like I'm not playing at my best.
Yeah. I can see that. That makes sense.
And I'm not going to say, oh, you guys use a mouse, you guys have tap strafing, you guys can loot while you're healing. Like, no, I'm not going to say that. For me, it's a sense of pride. It's not a good characteristic for me to have, but yeah. That's all I can really explain it as.
I feel like that could be them also explaining that, because I'll tell them, and then I feel betrayed because I'm like, dang. So you ain't gonna play with your boy because the PC lobbies are different. And I'm like, bro, I'll suffer and go play your lobbies. What the heck? I don't care what lobby it is. I'm like, dude, you can even put me in a new game and I have no idea how to play it, and I'd be fine with you throwing me into the stupidest lobby of all time. You know?
That's what I did with when I introduced my friend to Season 7. At this time, I had hit Plat on, I think it was Season 6, Season 7. I hit Plat in Season 7. And my buddy had just started playing with me 3 weeks before Season 8 dropped. And he died a lot. Like, a lot. And he instantly was like, this game sucks. I'm going to go to Modern Warfare. And I'm like, alright. What's crazy is he came back at Season 8, and he plays better than I do on Apex.
Wow. What?
He's gotten a higher rank than I have. He's hit Diamond, and I only managed to hit Plat. So...
I mean, I feel like also, people can I mean, did he ever play any other shooter? I feel like maybe he might have been playing shooters a lot longer.
He played a lot of Modern Warfare. He's into Elden Ring right now, hence why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the Orion challenges for Modern Warfare.
Oh.
And the moment
Okay.
he gets done with that, he tells me all the time, so, oh yeah, I'll play Overwatch with you, I'll play Overwatch with you. What's going to be crazy is next season's going to drop and he's not going to touch it. Because Modern Warfare Season 2 dropped and he's got new weapons to gold and Orion and... Well,
Hey guys, I got my skin camos. They're all purple, universal black. And you're like, what? What is this camo?
because I had my goal, and it was to get all of the camos for Modern Warfare 2. I didn't even gold all the guns. And I'm just like, alright, I'm going to go play something else now. Hence why I've been trying to get into Overwatch. I'm going to pick up some new mains in Season 3. I'm excited because I'm awful with all of them except for Lucio. I don't know how. And I've also been playing a lot of State of Decay as well. I've been in a nice, chill, relaxing game.
That's good, bro. That's good. Dang, man. Alright. Can I be honest with you?
Are you getting tired?
I am. I'm slowly dying right now.
No, it's all good. I was actually going to wrap it up here in a second.
I am ready.
Yes.
No, it was really fun though. I'm like, you're encouraging me to jump in a lot more podcasts because I know there is two other people that want to do it with me. But one said a month from now, and I'm like, okay, and then the other, I might hit them up to see what's up. So I want to do this more often.
It's definitely nice and relaxing in comparison to just jumping into a stream, playing a game, focusing on the game, and not being able to like read. For me, it's hard to read chat, especially when I'm so zoned into a game. Like a few days ago, I was playing Outlast, and I was starting the Whistleblower DLC. I was 10 minutes.
Bro.
I was 10 minutes in, and I got rated by the #1 Outlast streamer. He does speed runs. He sped run Whistleblower in 8 hours, and he died 500 times. He had a counter above it. This guy threw a raid at me, and I'm in the middle of running away from a dude with a buzzsaw, and I'm terrified, and I'm being raided.
Yeah, nope. 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 Dude, that scares me one day. Is like when you get a chat that moves so fast and you're just like,
you can't. It's hard to read. It's hard to look through.
I don't even know what I'm reading. I'm like, it's going so fast.
I gotta put the slow mode on midstream. Not having a clue what y'all are saying. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do an outro here in a second. Also have to sneeze.
Yes, sir.
Salud. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I know me and Ozzie did. I'm going to have all of his links and stuff, his TikTok, his Twitch, everything's going to be in the description of the YouTube video. And if you guys want to check out the prior episode that has me and Alexis in it, you guys can go on ahead and do that. But for the time being, as always, guys, much love. Be kind to each other, alright?
Bye, guys.
I can just cut this out, it's fine. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Whopper. Is Chad entertained yet? This is about the closest thing to entertainment you guys are gonna get. Echo! Echo! Oh! I'm probably fucking around with my settings and Ozzie's off to the side. I'm about to come in out of nowhere.
Oh my god. Dude, that was a waterfall came out, brother.
Bonus clip!
I was holding that mess in, dude. It's because I'm drinking this, too, so.